I do.
Covino and Rich.
Are you ready? Honestly, how do I deal with you every day?
Get ready.
Turn on down on the radio.
Whoa! Yeah!
Holy mother nugget! And holy mother meatball!
I'm the smartest man alive! You're so ridiculous. What? You're such a fool. Get out of here.
Oh, I'm a disc jockey.
What's a disc jockey?
Here we go. Covino and Rich.
Let's go!
Let's go! Yeah, and that's what's up. Yeah, and yeah, and that's what's up. Yeah, and that's what's up. What's going on? Good morning. It's Covino and Rich. In the desert, baby. Yeah. Steve Covino.
All right, man.
Ziff Davis. Spotty the producer.
I thought that was Rich Davis.
I'm sorry.
Davis.
That's what people in the Midwest call him. Rich Davis. Rip Davis. I got here, Rich Davis.
No, I'm Rip Davis.
Rip Davis. Rip Davis. It's the show, sports, entertainment, and life. And we hope you had a Joe Burrow sort of weekend. Not a Jimmy Garoppolo sort of weekend. And we be rocking out. Let's go. Woo! What's that new thing you do?
Oh my God! Well, the version that's attached to this doesn't have the David Lee Roth laugh.
No, I'm wondering, like, is Spot trying out a new laugh? He's done that like the last 5
No,
shows.
it's me recreating the David Lee Roth laugh. Because I keep forgetting to put it in.
Thanks, man. Appreciate that.
What is he doing?
The intro sounded different, too.
It's a little beefy.
So anyway, welcome to the show.
So beefy.
Good morning. I'm back on the West Coast. I spent the past few days on the East Coast. I was in the middle of the brown eye of the storm. Big blizzard on the East Coast, but I still made it. My flight was okay. For once, luck was on my side, knock on wood. No hassles or hoffs getting on the plane.
I'm so happy that looking at your
You?
Instagram
Today?
story.
Oh.
I'm so happy that looking to your Instagram story, you very much enjoyed the East Coast. You had Italian food. I saw Taylor ham, egg, and cheese in there.
You had a snowstorm.
You had a snowstorm. Like, the last time you went east, I feel like you like skipped all that. And you're like, yo, bro, I got no time. This time, I felt like you actually did those things. And I was so happy for you. I was like, yo, you had chicken parm. You had a little extra ketchup on the Taylor ham. I was like, man, Covino's at least jerseying it up this time.
Salt, pepper, and extra ketchup-y. Taylor ham sandwiches, pizza. Spot, I had a piece of each.
Oh, really?
I learned my Italian again. Like, you want plain or pepperoni? I said a piece of each.
Piece of
A piece of each.
Your pizza was all burnt.
Nah.
But some people like it that
Bar
way.
pies, how
Some
I
people
like
like a little, the cheese.
So then it wasn't burnt at all. It was perfect. So I enjoyed some pie.
My dad likes it like that.
But, you know, I didn't have time to do it behind the velvet rope. And for that, I apologize. I might have to do one in the next few days. My intention was to do a tour. I wanted my brother to give us a tour of the house and tell us like his story of each room and go through some stuff.
Why are you telling us what didn't happen?
Because he never got around to it with me. I'm like, bro, let's do it. And by the time we were available, my family had like destroyed the house. You know what I mean? Like my little niece and nephew and, you know, my mom was like, don't do it now. And everyone was sort of chilling and not in the zone. We were so in the moment together that there was no time to really put a show on.
But by telling us what you would have done, have you ever had a girl tell you what, like, if we would have hung out, this is what I would have done to you? You're like,
whoa, what? I was like, what? Yeah. It was like that.
Was it Johnny Napkins, by the way, or no?
No, it was a bar pie. I got to tell you, I hung out with my Uncle Joe. I didn't schmooze, but I boozed. I hung out with the family. I caught up with one pal, my one buddy, John Mendez. I was supposed to see other friends, but again, a big snowstorm happened, so that got kiboshed. But I did hang out with Uncle Joe, and Uncle Joe is the king of...
Wishful thinking?
No, the
king
opposite.
of pop.
The exact
king
opposite of that.
Of Bongo Bong. The king of what? What is Uncle
King of Sting. The king of...
Monte Fisto?
Really living up the hometown life. You know what I mean? Like the true local guy who still goes to all the local bars, never leaves the parameters of like that area.
Like Pee Wee Herman.
Like Pee Wee Herman kind of. You know, all my heroes have the same sort of vibe.
You know,
this bar's the coolest, but it's really not.
I used to think that mindset was lame. And then I'm like, you know what? It's lame if you live in the same place your whole life but don't accomplish anything. If you live in the same place your whole life but you got goals and you're doing shit, there's no harm in that.
No, it's nice, but these are bars I didn't even really go to when I lived there. So that's where I had my bar pie, and it was actually really good. Like some local place, just stayed local, had a good time, but it was nice to catch up with my family. I surprised my mom. You can see that footage on our social media page and our Patreon on Thursday's show, but just go to @Covino and Rich. And I went there to meet my nephew, and that was cool. Owen, he has a little song and everything. Owie the Owen is such a cool little guy. Something like that. Owie the Owen. Nice little kid.
The Owen.
Perfect round little head. He's a cool guy. I like him. Nice guy. We high-fived. But it was about, spending some quality time with my parents and my siblings, minus Dawn and Grace. And my mom was super happy about it. Again, niece and nephew time and just relax time, honestly. It was a snowy sort of trapped indoors, mom's cooking London broil sort of thing.
I know that
Steven,
feeling.
I made London broil your favorite.
Can you remind me what London broil is?
Spot, what's London broil?
It's a flank steak, but I'm asking, meaning
Mom
like,
rubs
how
like,
is it
like just
prepared?
salt. It's very salty and it's just like a roast.
It's
broiled.
Broiled.
Yeah,
Roast.
broiled. But I swear
sliced,
my mom
like
puts
sliced
Lowry's
or-
on it. Yeah, you slice it up. My mom says she doesn't put Lowry's on it, just salt. But it's very tangy but it's very good. And
London broil,
she makes-
Steve.
and I made your favorite mashed potatoes and corn.
Oh, sounds nice,
And I
man.
mashed them together because that's what I've done since I was a little boy. Mash my potatoes with the corn, mix it up. And then my mom waited on me like I was a little boy. Steven, it's so good to see you. Thanks, Mom. And then my siblings hate me because I'm treated special. It's awesome.
How many bread sandwiches did you have?
I had lots of bread. Yeah, lots
I
of
mean,
bread
like,
sandwiches.
When I say bread sandwiches, I mean a slice of bread in between two other
Steven,
slices
have an
of bread.
English muffin with your bread. It's like, geez, Mom, enough bread. So it's always lots of bread, lots of treats, trying to stay away from Mom's treats, and just catching up. My dad looks really great. He's healthy again, which is a relief. He looks good. He cut his hair. It grew back a little bit, but he doesn't look like Rob Ryan anymore as much. He's more like Kenny Rogers again.
Was that your indicator of his health? Because you bring up his hair a lot.
Oh,
like,
the
do you
hair.
feel like the hair is his gauge
Yeah.
of how he feels?
Well, he makes it known. Like, yeah, I feel like shit. I might as well be the crazy looking old man.
I mean, I have to say that. I have to bring that up for like normal human beings that you keep talking about his health and then referencing his hair. Like his hair.
I think it's a great indicator. You stop like caring. You're not feeling good, right? But he was rolling with it though.
But what I'm saying is Covino's dad's health is good, and he also happened to get a haircut to match his good feeling.
you look good. You feel good. He got his haircut. He looks and feels a lot better. There's no science behind that. It's just sort of mental. It's true, right? You feel better about yourself.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying
And you get that vibe.
he got the haircut because he feels good.
Yeah, and I think the opposite. I think the haircut made him feel good. So he looks good again. Got some pep in his step. Parents are good. Had a great time. Nice trip. And again, no hassles because I thought I was going to get trapped because of the snowstorm. So it was at least nice to see some snow.
Yeah, you guys
realize that I don't miss that shit at all.
You guys got nothing in New Jersey compared to New York.
I mean, it was a good 5 to 6 inches maybe. That's what she said.
Long Island
But
got
it
like
didn't,
feet of snow.
Yeah, it didn't cancel the flights
yeah.
or anything. So I got on my flight yesterday, made it back in time to watch some of the games and do Fox Sports Radio. So if you missed our expert analysis last night,
Oh, it was expert.
foxsportsradio.com.
The
Boy, was it.
the Long Island versus Jersey snow, they're so close, yet we're talking about power outages for certain little counties and stuff where I feel like Jersey, you were luckier. You got just like a nice little snowstorm. I was like, oh, I got like 5 inches, 6 inches. Where
I was trapped indoors enough to not help my dad shovel. Got to keep it real.
well, he's
Keep it
feeling
old
good.
school.
So yeah, why would
Yeah, like why would I start
serious?
helping shovel now? I never did ever in my life. And enough time to eat all the cereal that my mom had. She's like, Steven, cereal. I'm just kidding.
It's your favorite. That's
just
all
kidding.
she makes.
But yeah, I had a great time, Alex, Jason, Kyle, Amki. It was just a catch up, like a recharge. But I made a recent visit like 4 months ago, and it was the first visit I'd made in like 2 years. Then I had a free weekend and really cheap flights, so I said, why not? Went out there, surprised my mom, and again, just to catch up and say hello and say hey to my uncle too, who retires from the police department this week.
Wow.
Yeah, he's got like a few days left.
What
2
the
or
hell
3
is
days
he
left.
going to do?
But he's one of those guys that's like, I'm not bored at all. He's like,
Oh, he's good.
Bring it on. Like, I think you get to a point in life, especially when you work a stressful job like that, where you're like, I'm done. And
Anybody that I have
think
that's
he's been done.
anybody I have that's a cop or a fireman, they very much appreciate their time off more than most people, I feel. Like they're able to manipulate their schedules, but it seems like they're vacationing quite a bit because they have chunks of time off. Chunks. I was going to say something that someone had pointed out. Oh, when you were back on the East Coast, Alex was saying the luck you had was you're near Newark.
Mm-hmm.
Islip Airport, which is the little one that Southwest flies to on Long Island, 2 feet of snow at that airport.
Oh, fuck that. Yeah, I was nervous about that.
Yeah, that was, I mean, and knowing you and the trajectory of your luck over the years, I would have assumed that it would have just snowed more in Union than anywhere else.
Yeah, no, it was good. So it was a nice visit, success. Had a good time. Mom was happy, and I got to see my nephew and hang with my brother and sister. So good to be back. Nice weather. Made it back on time. Enjoyed the games. Joe Burrow's got the BDE. He's the guy.
The memes of Joe Burrow.
Macaulay Culkin Slade. What's her name from Roseanne? Sarah Gilbert. What's her character's name? Darlene. So Macaulay Culkin was the Darlene Slayer yesterday.
I saw
Joe's burrowing in some butt cheeks right now.
Yeah, he is.
all the memes of the Joe Burr, like he's cold,
Ice
his
in his
ice,
veins.
ice in the veins. And my favorite meme, besides the one of Tart dropping the Super Bowl trophy, my favorite meme might be it's Joe Burrow's face on Macaulay Culkin. It's like, I made his fiance and brother disappear. I made his fiance and brother disappear, like when Kevin made his family disappear. That's the meme I think was my favorite.
Obviously, it was the first time after a playoff game that the losing quarterback's wife was trending. Mahomes' wife was trending. I'll save that for the rando news. But Joe Burrow was the hero because now we don't have to see them as social media goes. You don't have to see Mahomes' wife or his brother dancing in victory. But Joe Burrow with the big comeback win. In the beginning of the game, and we're not going to harp on this because we talked about it last night, FoxSportsRadio.com, the Chiefs were dominating the Bengals. They made some adjustments on defense and then shut the Chiefs down the rest of the way.
Yeah.
They were losing 21-3.
It's the little things. Like we talked about this last night, so no need to harp on it again, but it's the little things. Now, every game in any sport, you'll be able to pinpoint, like, in the fourth inning when this guy, struck out with runners on, or, hey, it was the second quarter and this guy dropped an interception. There's always moments, but there were very clear moments yesterday. I think that's the thing, right? There were very clear moments, like dropped interceptions. There were clear moments where at the end of the half, Patrick Mahomes, they're up 21-10. And I think they had this sense of like, yeah, we're good. Fourth down. 4 seconds left in the half? Yeah, we'll go for it. They could have got a field goal, but went up 14. Easier said than done. And, hindsight's 20/20, but
Bengals defense stepped up big
unbelievable.
time, along with Joe Burrow just being the guy. They win 27-24. Burrow threw for 250 yards, 2 tutties, 1 interception. And Mahomes, 275 yards, 3 tutties, 2 interceptions. But they're done. I don't think the best teams are moving forward, but the teams with the momentum are.
Mercer made a great point to that, because you said that last night, and he said, well, wouldn't that just be a different ball game if the best teams just won? Wouldn't you just give a trophy to the person with the best standings at the end of the year?
No. What he said was that's what the playoffs are designed for.
Yeah, they're designed
for
that.
Crazy matchups to see who comes out on top. And, of course, I'm not taking anything away from the Bengals. They beat the Chiefs.
I guess if you
Are
ask
they
me,
the better team, though? I don't think so.
No,
they were just better and
for
pulled
that
off
day.
a win that day.
That day. Because if
That's
they
all
play,
I'm saying. It doesn't make what I'm saying any more wrong than what Mercer's saying.
No, I agree with what you're saying. It's like, you can't take away accolades, but the reality is if those teams play 10 times, I'd bet more than half the times the Kansas City Chiefs win.
I mean, you would think. Either way, Joe Burrow stepped up when he needed to. Their defense made the adjustments that they needed to, and they come from behind and beat the Chiefs. and there's funny memes all day. It was about, again, Brittany Matthews and Jackson Mahomes and how Joe Burrow stopped it from happening, how he's the guy. He's the dude. He's the future of the NFL, so keeps it exciting. Props.
Do you see Burrow and Chase's dad? Is that true? Because I can't tell if I think it is. Their dads were smoking cigars together.
I don't know if that's
Burrow
true.
and Chase's dads.
I saw so much.
Look that up,
after the
Spot.
game.
I think it was true, but then again, memes, even if like someone reputable retweets something, who knows what's true anymore? Adam Schefter's full of shit too, apparently.
Exactly, yeah. And then in the second game, we were on the air for most of it on Fox Sports Radio, but 49ers.
They're saying
Yeah, that looks real.
Burrow and Chase's dad
Very cool.
were smoking a cigar together in the parking lot.
Hate cigars.
Very cool, though. Well, that's Joe Burrow's sort of thing. The dude's got swag.
No, I know. But
Yeah,
I hate
he's
cigars.
got swag. It's a cool thing to see. A young
Nothing
dude,
for me.
again, coming back from injury in only his second year, taking a shit team to the Super Bowl. It's amazing.
Well,
And then Rich's 49ers take on the Rams.
oh, that was a tough one.
And it really was.
Or did they?
It really was. Because, again, it could have gone either way. This one could have gone either way. If you ask me.
I mean, it was a field goal point spread. Actually, not 3.5. It was
Had a sad ending to it. That's why.
Yeah, it was a game. It was a game that got away from the Niners, but
Because the Niners were leading in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, they were leading in the fourth quarter. They
had it.
they went ahead, and it's that dropped interception. It's very reminiscent to me of when the Patriots were in the Super Bowl versus the Giants the second time, and Wes Welker dropped that wide open pass.
Yep.
And it was like, if Wes Welker catches that wide open pass, the Patriots sort of seal it. He misses the pass. Giants get the ball, drives, win the game. If Tart comes down with possibly the
So what you're saying is
easiest...
Wes Welker is bad luck?
Because he's the 49ers wide receivers coach. Wes Welker brought his juju to the 49ers. And when you saw Tart miss that simple interception, you're thinking, man, the Niners could have had the ball at midfield, run the clock. Yeah, it's,
He took total accountability for that, by
He
the way.
did. I don't
It was
think he
on
had to.
him, and he apologizes to the fans and his teammates, but he knows he should have had that, and he just didn't catch it. There's nobody by him. It was a clear catch. He should have intercepted it with no problem at all. Stafford threw it right to him.
Yeah. You know what the sad part is? The sad part is only one storyline ends up being the happy one, right? There's 32 teams. 31 teams have a bad ending. Only one has the storybook ending. So even now we have 2 teams left. The whole Stafford leaves Detroit after wasting away in his first year with the Rams, gets to the Super Bowl. His wife's jumping on him, kissing him. It was cute. All these guys, the Rams loaded up. They went all in. Then you got the Bengals on the other side. One of these teams is going to just be sitting with everyone else as a loser. There's only one winner, which is wild. So
That goes down in 2 weeks.
who's it going to be? Joe Burrow? Or is it going to be Matthew Stafford?
I think the Rams, but if Burrow pulls that off, I mean, we're really witnessing greatness. We're really witnessing the growth of greatness.
When you talk about who you don't want to see win, because usually that's what it comes down to. Like, is there a player you don't want to see win?
I think America's rooting for Cincinnati.
Yeah, I think most people I don't want to see Odell Beckham Jr. win. I saw a lot of that.
It sounds wrong, but it's true. He's just such a polarizing guy that the general public doesn't want to see LA win. They went and got all these superstars. They don't want to see it primarily because of OBJ.
Yeah.
The storyline is this. Joe Burrow, we're seeing greatness in the making. He could be the next Tom Brady, the future of the NFL, coming back off an injury to come back to lead his team, a doo-doo team, to the promised land. It's an amazing story. Or you got Matt Stafford, who, again, played for a doo-doo team all these years, gets an opportunity in LA, and now this is his chance to say, see, I was great all along.
It shows you opportunity. It shows you
a different setting, different opportunity.
which is why I wrote down in my notes. There's also the meme going around of, if Matthew Stafford taught you one thing, leave that shitty job.
Leave that shitty job or that shitty relationship, that shitty girlfriend, that shitty wife, because life could be a lot better. He had all the goods. He had all the talent, and we always saw it and knew it. He leaves Detroit after all those years, losing franchise, and now he's going to the Super Bowl.
See, Jason Brown's a strange guy.
He is. I don't agree with him at all.
Because to me, the people that
I love him though. He's a
The
nice
people
guy.
that I would not want to see win are the people he wants to see win. Like Jalen Ramsey and Odell Beckham Jr. would probably be the reason why I would be like, I don't want to see the Rams win.
I'd say 95%
Matthew
of
Stafford,
the general public would agree
Matthew
that.
Stafford is who I'd want to see win because the guy was loyal to Detroit for way longer than he could have and should have been.
In his best years,
Yeah.
in his prime.
Odell Beckham Jr. was sort of like a problem
I mean, he also showed the same thing though, that in a different setting.
in a different setting. He showed that
he
Baker
still had
Mayfield
it.
stinks.
He exposed Baker Mayfield. There's no question about it. But the way he carries himself is just not likable.
Yeah, no, he's just not likable.
I mean, he's a great athlete
Oh yeah, without a doubt.
and one of the best on the field.
And he's
if
saving
not the
and he's
best on the
saving
field.
his reputation.
As a player, for
As
sure.
a player.
And then at the
Odell
end of the
Beckham
game,
Jr.
There was a very famous clip last night, went viral immediately, of when the Rams were celebrating their victory. We're going to the Super Bowl, and OBJ had a big part in that. He went over to Deebo Samuel and was consoling him because these dudes, they're crushed by this, and they should have won, 49ers.
Yeah, I mean,
So that was kinda
that should've-
cool.
they
Showed
lost.
he had some heart.
They couldn't finish, but
So Bengals Rams 2 weeks from now,
yeah,
and the
Sounds like my
Bengals
weekend.
are the home team.
yeah. There's a part of me that when your team is close and you feel like, ooh, not only did they miss an opportunity, they missed a future opportunity. Like there's a part of me that's like, if the Chiefs would have won, all I would have been thinking is, well, if the Niners win, they're going to lose to the Chiefs in the Super Bowl. The fact that the Bengals won, I'm like, ooh, the Niners could have beat the Bengals in the Super Bowl.
Matchups.
Yeah, it's matchups. They beat them a couple weeks ago. Like I just, it's like
Styles make fights.
it's a bummer. I agree with you. Maybe the best teams aren't there, but that's not what it's about. I mean, with a Marlins
I'm
better
not
than the
saying
Yankees
that's
when they
what
beat
it's
them.
about. I'm saying, would anyone would have thought the
No.
Bengals would have been in the Super Bowl? No, but they've proven us all wrong, which is dope. So props to them. They beat the Chiefs, and that's kind of fun because we've seen the Chiefs win. Time for somebody new.
The one thing I will say, it was cool to see Odell Beckham Jr. having his moment with Debo because they were both balling yesterday. But you know what? I said this last night, and it's a great relationship analogy, which is why I'll repeat it here. I don't expect people to have been watching the game, listening to us last night. When you are in a relationship and you think you want to break up with the person, sometimes if they do one thing wrong, you're like, perfect, because now I have a reason. And Jimmy Garoppolo played a pretty solid game throughout until the end.
My example was,
And that ill-advised little shovel pass for the interception is gonna be what's in the 49er fans' memory.
justifies the decision
Justifies
moving
it.
forward.
Yeah,
It's like if you break up with your girlfriend and she then sleeps with your best friend, you're like, I knew she was a hoe.
exactly.
See? I'm glad she did that because now it justifies my decision to move on. I knew she was no good. Or if you break up with your girlfriend and she, throws a brick into your windshield and sprays paint like you're a cocksucker on your car. You're a cheating piece of shit.
Yeah.
She does all that shit on
knew
the way
it.
out. It justifies. I knew she was a crazy person. That's all I needed to know.
Did she
Thank
do
you
it-
for reminding me why this would never work. And that's what Jimmy G did at the end of the game.
Did she do it in full on bubble letters, like actual graffiti, or just like tagging?
It's just a penis.
No, just tagging.
Okay.
I thought of two people
Her
with the Bengals.
shading is impeccable.
I thought of like three people yesterday with the Bengals. One that you guys won't know, but
Bernie
we've
Kosar?
mentioned it before. Our buddy Russ Mark and his brother Dax, two of our good buddies.
Oh.
They're big Bengals fans. Their dad who
Boomer
passed away.
Esiason?
Their dad who passed away last year is from Cincinnati, so they had a very
nice.
special moment. I saw.
And it was his birthday,
It was
right?
his,
So
yeah,
they
it
got
was
to
his
celebrate.
late, it
That
was his
nice.
late father's birthday.
That was
and
sweet.
That was sort of sweet. I thought that was nice. And as far as people that you know, Nick Lachey was all fired up on social media. We
Yeah.
always know that our buddy Nick Lachey has always been a Bengals guy. And the very funny comedian that we met during our ESPN days, Covino, that I still follow, Gary Owen. Huge Bengals guy.
He's a big time Bengals fan for sure. Yeah. I don't know many, but those guys definitely come to mind.
Gary
So,
Owen.
hey,
Yeah.
well deserved. And
So-
they have a superstar. So
You're-
Bengals fans should be excited.
Your spray paint analogy is a fantastic one because I know Kenny, our boy Kenny's a big Niners fan like I am. Up until the fourth quarter, Jimmy looked good, right? Garoppolo was playing. They had the lead. He was doing what he needed to do. But much like the girl that spray paints on your car or fucks your friend, and you're like, I knew it. I knew she was bad. I said to you, the alternative would have been if. Thanks, babe.
Thanks,
Matter.
babe.
No. Thank you.
What's
Save
wrong?
the turtles.
What's wrong? What? Oh,
Wow.
You know, I didn't. Even, I thought
Inconsiderate.
that you'd get yours when you went there. I'm sorry.
Inconsiderate.
Probably inconsiderate. You're.
Oh, she threw a straw in his face. The disrespect.
She
is
ordered
real.
one.
And having like the morning I had.
Oh, stop it! Stop it!
Wow.
Coffee mess last night. And
Wow.
The house for you to come home like happy after
Getting
last
yelled
night.
Oh.
Fuck you.
Oh, did you get yourself a coffee though?
No, I didn't have time because I have to work, you dick.
What do you were there? You got yourself a coffee.
Wow. She's in the door slam. I'm sorry. I'm just calling the play-by-play. Wow. So here's the deal. The backstory, guys. Good morning.
It's good, pretty good.
Wow. So Sarah came barging in. If you're just listening,
You know what she just
to,
said?
to deliver us coffees.
You know what she just said?
How's your man? Fuck out of here.
Yeah.
Hey, how you doing? Fuck out of here. Fuck out of
No
here.
coffee?
Fuck out of here. Fuck out of here.
Hey, how you doing? You forgot my coffee. Oh, yeah, fuck it.
Apparently, Rich's coffee pot broke, and we had no coffee this morning. So she ran out
I almost wish I got one.
on our behalf.
Yeah,
You know, made a
I
kind
mobile
gesture
ordered
to
for you.
buy.
I mobile ordered for you and I just didn't think for her because I thought she would just
Where's
go
my
there and
coffee?
get what she wanted.
Wow, bro. She said, were you just being a dick? A spiteful dick or inconsiderate? So what was it,
Oh, it's a
Rich?
good question.
Spiteful
What's a
dick?
better answer?
I'm assuming it was inconsiderate. If you were
no,
spiteful-
I think-
Inconsiderate.
I
Well,
think
there's no spite
It
there.
wasn't intentional. I think it was very inconsiderate.
Yeah.
You did not consider her feelings and her desire for a coffee
I didn't.
because the coffee pot is broken. Therefore, you are inconsiderate.
Well, she doesn't drink. Here's the other catch. She doesn't
Dude,
drink.
Sarah's sexy when she's mad.
She doesn't
right?
drink
Yeah, she needs to
our,
yell at you more often.
she
I was
doesn't-
sitting here like this.
Hey, you love fighting with.
Yes, spot.
from this angle, all I saw were cheeks, and they were like shaking and
Yeah,
like tensed up. Her
spot.
cheeks were all tense.
I was like
So she never has coffee from our coffee pot. So I think I didn't account for like that. Like we need to replace what we drink in the morning. She doesn't drink our coffee
Do you have
pot.
a picture of what happened?
I do have a picture of what happened yesterday.
What happened?
By the way, to wrap up that last statement, football done. We'll get to this now. But
Send it to me.
By the way, Sarah
Yeah.
was really mad.
Jimmy G throwing that interception.
Oh.
I said to you yesterday, if Garoppolo drives that ball down the field,
Yeah.
ties it up, and they go to overtime, and let's say the Rams win in overtime, then you could be like, man, Jimmy G did it most he could. And then you go into the offseason with Jimmy G's the leader. He did what he could. But by throwing that interception, now everyone's like, I knew it. Trey Lance, I knew it.
Congratulations to the Bengals and the fans. Congratulations to the Rams and their fans. Goes down in 2 weeks. We're excited about it.
While I pull up this photo,
You want to explain?
yeah.
talk to Mark in Colorado because he's been on hold for a minute.
Mark, what's up?
I'd just like to know that the reason I'm voting for the Rams to win, Von Miller's there.
Von Miller, you're a Broncos guy. A lot of times you will,
Yeah.
much like Jason. Jason also
I
pointed
couldn't
out that
sleep until I
a
found
couple
out.
of the guys
who Mark was
that are on the
rooting for. Thank
Rams
you, Mark.
are Florida State guys, and Jason's a Florida State guy. If your guy is Von Miller, and you're like, I want to see the guy win one, another one. Won AFC championship. He won an NFC championship and an AFC
There's a
championship.
backstory where Von Miller and OBJ wanted to play together, right? So
He
Von
wasn't
Miller
done.
reaches out to
I cut him
OBJ, and OBJ says, yo, man, you do not want to play for Cleveland. Like, you do not want to play for Cleveland. Like, he sort of talked him out of wanting to play with him in Cleveland. So, luckily, he made his move to L.A., and OBJ followed suit, and now they're winning together. So
Sorry, Mark. I thought you were done.
Hey, Mark.
What the fuck?
I thought you were done.
Jesus.
You made your point.
What happened?
Anyways,
Oh.
also, I'd like to know what you think about Nathan Hacken coming to the Broncos.
My brother is a Broncos fan like you, Mark. You and my brother, same guy. He loves the move. I wonder, do you think, Mark,
for Nathan's hot
that
dogs.
Aaron Rodgers and Devontae Adams are lured to Denver, and do you want that?
I'm hoping that.
Yeah, that's why you get that guy, because he's got a relationship, and it's all about relationship.
Rich played Nathan Detroit in his school play.
And by the way,
I was in Guys and Dolls.
you know, there's speculation it's like Aaron Rodgers. What if he goes to the Niners? This sounds like a lame thing to say. I don't want him. I know you're saying, why would you not want the best guy? I don't know. And listen, in my life, I would love for my teams to win a championship and make me happy. But I don't like that like 1 year hired gun thing. You know, does that make sense?
There's also like slight speculation that if Brady retires, I just don't think he'd follow in Brady's footsteps.
To go to Tampa, right?
But Tampa would be the best fit, less competition, in that division. So you never
picture. You know how I picture it playing out? Aaron Rodgers is like, fuck the NFL. And then he's going to go work with Joe Rogan. And he's going to be there. And like Joe's going to be excited for like an episode. And then all of a sudden, like Aaron's not going to leave.
Well,
it's going to be like, that was funny at first, Aaron. And then like he's just going to be there.
I mean,
and then he's going to have to break up with Aaron Rodgers.
I know you're making the Rogan reference because everyone else does. It would not be unrealistic for Aaron Rodgers to be somehow involved with McAfee's show because they're like best buds. He only does press through McAfee, so maybe he becomes a contributor there. But I think that's down the line. I think Aaron Rodgers still plays.
On our show,
we need someone that only just press through our show.
We need to find a charismatic punter that has a great broadcasting future.
I'd love to get Butker just because of his name.
Yeah.
Butker.
Well, thank
his
you
name's
guys.
Butker.
Appreciate it. Appreciate you. Thank you for being here. So Sarah's angry at Rich.
Oh, yeah.
I do appreciate the coffee. She offered me a straw. She was very nice to me. I appreciate that. But what happened to the coffee pot?
Now I feel like because Sarah did you know what Sarah did? She's
want
so
me to-
kind.
do you want me-
to tell
honestly-
you why she's so kind?
Honestly, you guys can run. You don't need me.
Rich is trying to kiss butt now.
Do you want me to run out?
No.
The place isn't that far. It'll take me 10 minutes. I'll be back in
it's
forth
fine.
in 10
It's
minutes.
fine. It's fine.
You sure?
Yeah.
I don't think she got coffee for herself.
She should have because what she gets is not a long order, so she could have ordered one while she was there. She gets a cold brew, so she could have been like, and add a cold brew. She's just trying to teach me a lesson or something.
I don't think that's how it works.
But
she said she didn't have time.
It's a very busy time of day at Starbucks.
So now I forgot what I was saying. What was I saying?
Something happened to your coffee pot yesterday. What happened to your coffee pot? That's why Sarah had to go out and get us coffee.
Oh yeah, my coffee pot. There's a spring that like bursted out. I don't even know what happened. Like nothing peculiar, but then
Did it go like that?
No, that was Sarah's butt cheeks when she walked out all mad at Rich.
Get McPherson while he doesn't have a huge following. He's the guy that guarantees field goal kicks. He's got a little swag to him.
Hasn't missed yet.
I could have ordered my own with your fucking beefcake of the sun on my hip.
Give the beefcake. Give the beef.
Sarah.
Give the beef. Give us the beefcake. Give us Ben and go get coffee.
Wow.
Give us Ben. I'll take it. I'll watch him.
me to go? I'll go.
No, give me Ben. Put him right here.
She has to work. Didn't you hear her?
Put Ben right here.
Why
So
don't you just say
inconsiderate.
thankful? Why don't you say thank you, Rich? And see, now she's slamming the door again.
I didn't even get to see cheeks.
Wow, man.
How'd she look?
I think Sarah's the one that messed.
Angry.
Sarah's the one.
Sarah's hot when she's angry.
I think Sarah messed. Maybe she messed up the
99%
coffee
of the time
order.
she's too nice.
Sarah messed up the coffee order. I was
Those
just about
flashing
to,
eyes, those flushing lips.
I was just about to compliment her, and then she comes in here raging like a lunatic.
You're ugly when you're angry.
I like it.
She knew I was going to be in like a bummed out mood because of the Niners loss. So when I came home from Fox last night, the house was like super clean and like there was a candle lit and all the kids' toys were put away. She's like, I knew that would make you happy because I know you were bummed about the game.
Oh, that's sweet. And then you didn't.
And then I forgot her
you
coffee.
didn't get her coffee.
I did not forget her. I said I'm ordering. Man,
Did you say, "Can I get you anything"?
no, but I asked you if you wanted anything.
I know. I have my,
I guess I just
honestly, if I didn't have my full-on jug, this is like pretty much 2/3 of a pot of coffee.
yeah.
If I didn't have this, I would have said yes. But I happened to bring the big boy today.
I bring the big boy every day. Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Rich doesn't know. But go ahead, Rich. Tell us the story finally.
So yesterday, right as I'm leaving for Fox, I went to make a pot of coffee because I was like, let me bring a coffee because I didn't want to stop at Starbucks because I was like, the game was on, so I was trying to get the Fox like stats. So I was like, I'm not making any stops today. Went to make a pot of coffee. I go back in the kitchen. I'm like, oh, coffee's leaking everywhere. I move the coffee pot and fucking everywhere.
Beans or coffee?
Beans?
Everything.
No, like grinds. Like
Grinds.
yeah.
Grinds and it was the worst. And here's the worst part of it. I couldn't clean it up.
Because you had to go.
Because I was making this pot of coffee at probably 4:15 and we're on the air at 5 o'clock on Fox. So this is like I'm making a pot of coffee. I mean,
you know why?
Plan ahead.
No,
when would you make an hour ahead of time?
No, but because his team was on, he was just waiting.
Like
and
I knew, like Covino. I usually pick up Covino at like 4:15, 4:20. So I start my pot of coffee brewing at 4, and then I know within like 10 minutes it'll be done.
Well, yeah,
I pour it, put my creamer.
I probably started.
Out the door.
I probably started the pot of coffee at 4 and went to the kitchen to make my little Yeti concoction, and I was like, "What's going on? The coffee pot's empty. Oh no!" And everywhere. But then I couldn't even stick around to clean it up, so I was like, "Sorry, bye."
I remember this happened to me once when you guys used to come over. I would come out, grind the beans, set up the coffee pot, start it, and then go in and get ready or shower or whatever.
Yeah.
And I remember doing this once, and I forgot to put the top on the coffee pot, and it overbrewed. So it and then it went all over the counter, went down all over the floor, and I'm like, "What the fuck?" When I came out, I'm there cleaning
and
up coffee.
honestly, Spot, we have a lot of empty counter space because we're in the middle of getting our kitchen redone. You have a very concise, packed cookbooks, devices.
I have a kitchen like an eighth of your size.
Spot has a little kitchen, but I'm saying you have
an eighth of the size.
You have your countertops are precisely packed. So if Spot has a big spill like that, it's gonna mess up a lot of shit.
Going under the toaster oven,
yeah,
under the blender.
It's going in between the little crack of the stove and the.
Went behind the fridge, under the stove,
and I left it for Sarah to clean up. Strike 2. You're right, Kevin.
The tough part about this is,
Sarah,
you just had your backsplash installed.
Yeah.
So to me, this is like the first. You know how you get something new and bright and shiny. This is like the first scratch on your phone.
Sorry. I'm sorry. Come over here. Give me a hug.
You beat him,
over
Sarah.
Here. Get over here. Give me a hug. I'm sorry.
Sarah.
You can have mine. I took 2
angry
You can
Sarah.
have mine.
Angry Sarah is so much cooler.
You can have mine.
Right?
Yeah.
You can have mine. You work
like
hard.
we're all
Come
part
on.
of it.
You can have
It's
mine.
like we're all
Let me
on the
take one
same
more
team.
sip and you can have it.
Right? It's like we're all on the same team being angry.
No, come on. Get over here.
Sarah, come to the dark
No,
side.
here. No, just give me a hug. Come here. Hey. You can have mine. Sarah, I offered you mine. Sarah. Come give me a hug. Sarah.
Too little too late. And
She denied your hug. I'm so glad. I like
Sarah, come here, please.
Come on, join our
Too
team.
little too late. And you're harassing her when she's trying to work.
Yeah, bro.
So you're making it even worse. Stop digging a hole. Let it go.
Let it go.
Deal
She's
with it
busy.
later.
Now she's doing her own thing.
Yeah.
Someone said I should have posted a picture of Sarah cleaning up yesterday's coffee with that TikTok. Oh no.
Show us the mess you left her.
Yo, this hurts me. When I saw it, it hurt me.
So I'm just imagining
Because it's
coffee
really
everywhere.
it's really accentuated by the fact that you have bright, shiny, new white.
Yeah, I mean,
countertops
luckily
and
it didn't
backsplashes.
stain anything or anything, but it's fucking a lot.
You
Take-
ready?
take-
Ready for this? Wait till
yeah.
you see this. Wait till you see it.
Tier 2, get a load of this.
Oh my God, bro.
Right?
What? You left the house with that mess?
Are you fucking
And it's
kidding
not
me?
like you made it by the skin of your teeth. You had plenty of time when you got to Fox.
This just looks
You could have
so
helped
bad.
her. You could have helped her clean that up before you left.
I don't think you could have.
Yes, he could have. It's not like he
I got there.
busted in just in time.
I got there at 4:45 or 4:46 or something like that. I remember getting there and I was like, "Oh, I have 15 minutes to spare."
This definitely went in crevice.
Oh my
This
God.
definitely went in some crevice. You have permanent coffee crevice stains.
Yeah, well, there's really
Probably
no
in Rich's
crevice.
crevice.
There's no crevice.
Wow. That was a big mess. There's
Scroll
coffee everywhere.
zoom in on that spot just to see how
What were you
it's.
doing, bro?
What was I doing?
Like, how did you not notice that was going on? Because you were so focused on the game?
We were in the other room.
It's not the other room. It's right. Like, you could peek at that shit from where you stand.
Yeah, but it didn't splash and splatter like that until. See the part where you put the coffee in with the filter, the right top side. Right there.
This right here.
When you
so that's-
when I pulled
that's
that out to see what the problem was, that's when everything was like it threw up.
So
And
if
you
you're
just-
not looking, not watching.
It was leaking. Spot.
Rich's
just
house's coffee
screwed it
machine
there.
broke, and therefore
How's my grinder? Is
we
it
need to
okay?
figure it out.
The grind, everything's fine.
Wow, man.
But I'm trying to decide. how do I get it? Do I just buy a new coffee pot or do I call Mr. Coffee and be like, oh, your spring broken? Like,
Buy a new coffee pot. This one was shit.
this one was shit. My mother-in-law bought that for me.
Yeah.
Cindy's like, you need a coffee pot.
You need something. It's everything's too hidden. You need to like see where the compartments are and like the coffee coming out and brewing and all that stuff.
Yeah, we need an industrial.
We need one of those big like metal
Taken out of the show budget.
tall ones.
Yeah, seriously. Get a good one.
Man, bro. Actually, it was a fun
Man
coffee.
brew. Man brew. That's the coffee machine we need. Man brew.
Man brew.
Man brew.
Man brew.
So, wow. And then Rich
Man.
leaves. Yeah, Sarah should be
Yeah.
mad at you. You're a dick. And then you don't order her a coffee.
No one is on
Dick.
your side right now.
Dick. I mean, look. In Rich's defense,
no
there
one's
are
on my side.
times-
No one should be on my side with the coffee thing. But yesterday, the mess.
It's a great reminder,
Yeah.
though. So, like, for example, if I come home, I pick Melody up from school, right?
Yeah.
Melody's like, Dad, I'm hungry. I make a stop at Chick-fil-A or something like that. And I come home and I'm like drinking a fucking milkshake and Melody's eating her fries. And then Jordan's like, why didn't you ask me if I wanted anything? That's always like the weakest scenario.
Well,
Like,
here's
I didn't think.
You know what I would
And there's
do?
no
Here's the
justifying
thing. Here's
it.
the thing.
You just forget in the moment, or maybe you
how-
just weren't thinking.
You know how when a dog makes a mess, you're supposed to like rub their nose in it?
Yeah.
Sarah should have taken your head, your giant Mondo head, and rubbed it in all those coffee.
That was strike two. Strike three just happened. Strike three was
What was strike one?
strike one. You mentioned strike one. Strike
No,
two
I
was
just said
leaving that
strike
mess.
two. Well, strike two.
Strike
the-
three
the
was
mess
we
is-
ordered coffee. He didn't order her any. She went and picked it up for us.
Here's my feelings on all of it. Yesterday, leaving her the mess. That's fine because I would have done the same for her, and I'm the one that does a lot of the cleaning, and I would have done it for her. If she had to run and had to do something, I would have done it. That's sucks. I should have.
I get the
fucked
vibe
up.
that
I
Rich
fucked
brags
up
about cleaning a lot.
I
Do you
fucked-
get that vibe? Or
I
no?
fucked up with the coffee this morning. But if you know how many times
happens,
I
though.
bring home stuff for her and surprise her and bring her stuff, I'm the. This is unlike me, which is why I'm sort of mad at myself and taking accountability
Yeah,
because
but
I'm usually.
She said if people couldn't hear it because she was shouting at
Yeah.
you and it's echoey.
Yeah.
And she was angry.
Yeah.
She said, and the morning I had. So she said that she was having a terrible morning, and that's when you forget. So that also made it sting a little more. I don't even know what that means.
like you're
she must
sitting-
have had a bad morning. Like Ben probably shit on the floor or something. I
You're
don't know.
sitting in here talking about Katy Perry. She's out there dealing with the kids. You're making her go get you coffee. She's sending Emmy off to school. You're like, fair. You didn't even get her coffee.
Didn't even get her after she had a terrible morning. But again,
I thought
it's-
Sarah was
clean up.
chill. Sarah is chill. But once in a while, Big Steve, I push the buttons a little too
I like
much.
the fire in her
But you know
eye,
what?
though.
It's
You're right, Spot. I feel like she's on our team now. Like, yeah,
Right.
join us, Sarah.
Join us.
He's a douche, isn't he?
Isn't he?
But I'm the number one. Let me surprise her and bring her home a little treat or do something. I'm actually.
And you should.
I'm
Let that be the reminder.
I'm never inconsiderate, which is why I'm mad at myself because I
Let
always
that
fucking
be
do
the
that.
remind. Wow, you fuck up once and you get shit thrown at you.
Yeah.
Damn, bro. Damn.
We think it was the series of unfortunate events.
Yeah, bro. When that straw hit Rich's nose, can you like put that in slow motion? When she threw a straw at Rich,
Hit me in the
it hit him
nose.
right in the nose.
Nose.
His face was like, "Meh." At that moment, he knew he fucked up.
I should have had the replay.
The reminder here is when you make that little dip or stop somewhere, you always got to keep your
Dip.
wife or girlfriend in mind. And I got to remind myself
Yeah.
too. I tend to not forget, but I tend to assume sometimes wrong. Like, yeah, no, why would she's not hungry. By the time we get home, her fries are going to be cold. She don't need anything, but it's about the gesture. It's about the consideration, you know? Do you want anything? I'm stopping at the store. You need anything? Try to be thoughtful. It's not always easy. I don't blame Rich, but it was funny to see.
I'm big on bringing home little treats for everybody. I mean, come on.
Usually he's the best.
Come on, I'm usually the best.
So, yeah. Oh, man. That's when he realized he fucked up. When the straw hit his nose.
Man, oh man.
Sarah got, honestly, she came in all clammed up too. Like she got so much hotter when she got mad at Rich.
The fuck, right? Wow.
So throw Rich in the doghouse with Jimmy G.
Can you get a slow mo of the?
I don't know if I can
The
slow-mo
straw.
it.
You are a slow mo.
Man.
Well,
I can watch it. We can watch it over and over again.
I had a good time in New Jersey. There was some good. Oh, here she.
Hey, come over here.
Inconsiderate.
Probably inconsiderate.
Oh, straw in his
Wait, do you throw a straw in my face?
Yes. You deserve more. I was going to come in and actually dump a coffee on you. But you're lucky you were around equipment.
Oh, she threw a straw.
Get yours when you went there. I'm sorry.
Inconsiderate.
Probably ain't your. There's a straw. Yours when you went there. I'm sorry.
Inconsiderate.
Probably ain't your. I thought that you'd get yours when you went there. I'm sorry.
Inconsiderate.
I'm sorry. I want to apologize. Sit down.
But what is this nonsense about you actually bring me home treats randomly? When do you ever bring me home
I
treats?
bring you home treats.
I bring you home like
I'm the
Sour
best
Patch
guy
Kids,
ever.
Sour Patch watermelons. I'm like, hey, babe, I thought you might like this.
Normally, I'm the best.
You food shame me. You're like, what? You want McDonald's?
Wow.
I always bring you home
Food
treats
shamer.
Bring
and
me
food.
home treats, and I tell you how awesome that would be.
When was
What
the
did
last
I
time
do?
you went to Chick-fil-A for her?
2 days ago.
No. He went to Chick-fil-A because I asked him to get food for the children. It's not like he did it out of the kindness of his heart, being like, oh, you know what? I think Sarah would really like Chick-fil-A. I'm going to go bring it for her.
On Saturday, our friend Shannon stopped by to do some laundry and hang out. And I went to Chick-fil-A and I got. I was like, I'll go get the whole family and everyone Chick-fil-A. And I was like, I'll be back. And I went out. I'm trying.
Like, we all decided, like, hey, it's like Chick-fil-A sounds great. Someone had to same with the kids. So Rich always, like, he was like, I'll leave. You can watch the kids. Bye. You think that was a benefit for me, or is that a benefit for you?
Tell him, Sarah.
It's a really good mix today. You should try.
Sarah, being mad at Rich is a good look on you.
Stop. And I got coffee on me.
Get him.
You're lucky I even gave you a straw. I wasn't even going to give you a straw.
So, bro, why are you trying to look like the good guy who brings home treats and you
Can we
don't?
watch, can we watch it one more time?
Why'd you try to be like a Johnny Apple
Come here.
Treats?
I'm sorry. Just give me. Let me.
I
Come
love
here.
you.
Come here.
I
Come here.
have
Come here.
a client.
I know you said it. Come on. Come here. No, come here.
Sarah, stay mad at
Come
him.
here. Come here.
Sarah's got
Where's
work
Ben?
to do.
Where's Ben?
He's on the couch and he's actually like chill. So like, please give me a minute.
Let her go do her stuff.
Yeah, jeez. Leave her alone. She did her job.
What could I do?
She
To
played her
rile
part.
this up more. No.
She got us coffee.
Oh, she threw a. You'd get yours when you went there. I'm sorry.
Inconsiderate.
Probably inconsiderate. She threw a straw. You'd get yours when you went there. I'm sorry.
Inconsiderate. We're watching the clip of Rich getting hit
She threw a
in the face with a straw.
We got to slow mo the straw later.
I got it.
All right. All right.
You know what? I've been waiting for that. Honest to God. Sarah needs to shit on you a little bit. You're a great guy, but
Sarah
even
needs
you
to
look.
shit on me?
I always bring her. She even said you don't even do that. You were
bring
lying.
her treats.
You were lying. You were lying to make yourself look good.
I bring her
I
treats.
am the league leader. You said fucking legal leader.
I am the league
Fuck
leader.
outta-
League leader.
League leader. Fuck outta here. Fuck outta here. Hey, come here. League leader. Fuck out of here. Liar. Trying to make yourself look good. All right. Well, in other news this weekend.
By the way, show the coffee spill one last time.
that was
Talk
bad.
is it? I mean, come
really
on.
was bad.
Come on.
I don't work over here.
This is why you got to upgrade to tier 2. You got to see the mess this guy
Jason
made.
brings up a good point. It never usually happens, but you ever go over
The backsplash. Look at the backsplash. What happened?
I know. Listen, it's all clean now, and the
Looks like
kitchen
Ben
still.
got up
By
on
the
the
way,
counter and took a shit
Not to
on it.
mention,
Yeah,
because they just installed your counters and they have to do some, or your backsplash and they have to do some stuff.
yeah.
All your wires are exposed, so you have liquid with your wires exposed. This is so unsafe.
Liquid hot magma.
Magma.
The microwave is temporarily in front of that spot. That we just had to pull out the microwave because it
But
leaked
still.
underneath.
I'm the league leader.
I'm the league leader of
Kind gesture.
open outlets. No, they're
Sarah's
they
like,
have
"No,
to
you're not."
they have to finish the outlets and backsplash and the floating shelves. They're not actually floating. They're
The floating
they're on
shelves.
the wall, Covino, but they're not actually
that was
they're not
great.
floating
I'm
shelves.
sorry. That was great. In my opinion, that was Sarah's best performance on the show in years.
Man.
I fucking
She really brought the
I
heat.
really loved it. All right. Well, Rich, I'm sorry that happened. I'm sorry that,
Thank
I'm
God,
sorry
thank
that.
God I didn't order myself the breakfast sandwich I was going to as well.
Yeah. But I do understand where you're coming from. Sometimes you just forget, man.
Here's your egg white turkey. I was gonna get the spot, the Starbucks egg white turkey bacon thing. I was gonna get that too, and I'm like, thank God I didn't.
See, want to know the difference between
Yeah.
you and I? Seriously.
The difference between me and you.
No, seriously.
Me and you. What?
I admit that there's a lot of times where I'm inconsiderate and I just forgot. I ordered myself a sandwich and I wasn't thinking about anyone else. That makes me an asshole.
Well, that's not me though.
Oh, hold on.
Yeah.
So you say. And then she comes in here and says otherwise. You think you're the greatest all the time, and that's the difference.
No, but if I'm out somewhere, I never come back with something for myself
She
without
just
her.
said that's not true.
She's full of shit.
Okay.
Like Sunday morning.
But you say you're the league leader. You know what I say? Yeah, I fuck up sometimes. That's the difference. So
fuck
people
up.
are gonna pounce on you when this shit happens.
I fuck up plenty of times, but not with considerate.
You can't say I'm the
stuff.
league leader and then say I fuck up sometimes.
My fuck ups are in different departments. Everyone fucks up in different departments. My fuck ups are not in the considerate spouse department. My fuck ups are in different departments. Like, all right, Sunday.
Yeah, but bro, if you just say, fuck, I forgot,
I
I'm
know.
sorry.
I did.
Then you're good.
I did.
You feel like shit.
I did. I said I'm
She'll
sorry.
be mad at you, but at least there's accountability.
Yeah, but
when
we
you
don't-
say,
we
oh,
don't-
fuck, hey, usually I'm the best.
We don't.
No one feels bad for you.
We don't stay mad at each other. We'll be over this by lunchtime. Bummer. Sarah does walk around with straws, like.
Seriously.
What kind of fucking straw is this, by the way?
I know. See, we have all these in our house.
I was like, they don't serve these at Starbucks.
No, Sarah's an advocate
Oh, yeah.
of.
Jordan has those.
It has nothing to do with.
They're not bendy, though. Jordan has straight ones like this.
Oh, really?
Same shit.
This one's a
Rubbery
straight,
ones.
yeah, this one's a straight one.
Yeah, rubbery.
It's nothing to do with the
disposable or non-disposable
Yeah, but I don't think it has to do with like we're saving the environment. I think Sarah just likes these like rubber straws. We have like
What's wrong with that?
No, but they're good. They're good. I don't usually like them.
Well, thank you. I'm a big fan of Pissed Off Sarah. I think it's great. I think it's fantastic. And, to wrap up this weekend, you can't have a Monday show and not acknowledge the biggest story. Yeah, it was great football, great games. But it took up the majority of the commentary leading up to the games? Tom Brady. I don't want to harp on it again, but he might be the comeback player of the year. He retired, then he didn't. Is he back? I don't know. What I do know is TB12, his company, made an announcement, which they quickly deleted. So the sequence of events is a little blurry. But TB12 posted, TB12 Sports on social media posted 7 Super Bowl rings, 5 Super Bowl MVPs, 3 league MVP awards, 22 incredible seasons. Thank you for it all, Tom Brady. Very cryptic, which could make you think he's just saying farewell to a great season. I don't know. It looks like there's a picture of him running onto the field. It's not him walking off. I don't know what to think, but they deleted it. That sort of corresponded with Adam Schefter and other reporters saying that they had sources telling them that Tom Brady's done. That was the story. That became the story. Social media and the public ran with it. Like, wow, Tom Brady retired. Everyone's texting each other, sending posts and memes and congratulating him on a great career. Wow, Tom Brady's retiring. It was the story, only to come to find out, like, he never even made that announcement. It was not true. His publicist, his dad, even said,
was like,
no, he hasn't made that decision.
That'd be like, imagine Big Steve coming out of the woodwork and being like, yeah, by the way, everybody,
not true.
What you saying about my son? Incorrectamundo.
What's fucked up about it is he
wild.
probably is going to retire. That's what I'm thinking.
But he wanted
right?
it on his terms.
Which he deserves.
Yes.
After his 22 incredible seasons, it's not Adam Schefter or anyone's job to steal that moment away from Tom Brady. That was his moment to announce. And we live in a culture, and we explained this last night on Fox Sports, but where the media just wants to be the first. They don't want to be right. They're so quick to want to be the first with the story.
Yeah.
They don't worry about being accurate about the story. And he wasn't ready to make that announcement. He's saying that he hasn't made up his mind. Now, what do we think? We think he is going to retire, but when he wants to, not when Adam Schefter feels the need to tell the public. It's kind of fucked up.
Yeah. No,
and Tom Brady in the story sort of exposed the media and how shitty they are. It's not their story or their business. And the best analogy, Rich, you made it yesterday, was like someone ruining your birth announcement or something.
I mean, if there's some couple that's like, yeah, we're pregnant and we can't wait to tell our family, and then your drunk Uncle Biff's like, hey, you know they're expecting? It's like, yo, are you fucking kidding? Like, yeah, I mean,
it's fucked up.
They
really
stole
is.
the moment.
They stole his
Uncle
moment.
Biff stole the moment.
And Tom Brady's doing the right thing. He's like, you're not stealing my moment. This is my moment.
I told you. I hope.
So he's saying, I'm not retired. Hey, slow down. What are you forcing me out? I'm not done yet.
I hope he plays a whole other season just out of spite.
You never know. He originally wanted to play till 45.
I hope so.
You never know. You never know.
He's never leaving. I hope.
My opinion is that, yes, he planned on retiring, and then Adam Schefter and other reporters sort of stole his announcement. Let him do it his way. The guy, it's his fucking career to announce, not yours. annoying.
It is sort of wild. That's like, really? You're going to.
So everybody, was wow, you believe Brady? And social media ran wild with it. He's done. He's retired. Headlines, every major news outlet. He's done. And then he's like, no, I never made that announcement. I don't know who your sources are, but I never made that announcement.
Now I have a question.
Yeah.
Everyone loves getting the news ahead of time. Everyone loves knowing so-and-so is going here, so-and-so is leaving here, whatever.
You have to have...
Because of someone like an Adam Schefter, right?
Yeah, but these guys love being the first.
Right. So everyone loves to hear that Adam Schefter is quote-unquote reporting something. But because of this... Because it blew the big story, now everyone's like looking the other way and be like, "Oh, how could you do that?" So you can't get your scoop.
Like some people
you can't have your scoops.
Yeah,
you can't have your scoops.
You don't fuck a Tom Brady retirement
but not have your
story.
scoops.
You know what you can
so
say?
You know what?
Hey,
I say all or nothing.
I'm hearing that Aaron Rodgers is talking to the fucking 49ers. Like, you could talk about speculation.
Of course. And that's what guys like Woj in the NBA or
Right.
Adam Schefter
Inside
or in
sources
baseball,
tell
Jeff
me-
Passan or these guys.
I think
yeah.
Schefter should lose his connections.
To so matter-of-factly confirm that Tom Brady's retired because of your sources and then not give any sources or any quotes whatsoever, like, he really misled the public at the worst possible. We're talking about the GOAT here.
Not misled, just probably correctly led them, but against Tom Brady's will.
The buzz term, misinformation.
Yeah,
A lot of misinformation.
To me,
Yeah, so he has to wait until what? Gruber just said this, until after February 4th for a bonus.
I don't know.
To
You have
announce
to
it.
wait for Tom Brady
Hey, maybe.
to say, I'm done.
A couple people are saying, yeah, there was
There's
it
a
leaked
bonus?
that he had to wait until a certain date to
obtain
announce it to obtain a bonus.
But you know what? Look at it this way, Spot. Tom Brady, 22 years. I don't know how to describe.
Even if that's true, hold on.
Even
Even if that's true, is it Adam Schefter's fucking job to ruin this dude's bonus?
some people now you could say this analogy is a terrible one.
Oh, I love.
Ready
you
for a
always,
terrible
you
analogy?
always criticize mine, so let me get back at you.
No, this is. I feel like I've had good ones lately. I feel like my Jimmy Garoppolo spray paint car thing, Covino and I did. I thought that was a good take we did yesterday. It's the right way for Jimmy G to leave, because if he left any other way, there'd be speculation. Perfect. Jimmy G's the ex-girlfriend that it's like, oh, but I loved her. Oh, that's right. She spray painted my car. He threw an interception in the last play. Some people deserve a little more consideration than others. I'm not saying you should treat some people with more respect than others, but sometimes it's a little earned, And Tom Brady, for what he's done for football, has earned
And who he is.
you to not try to get the scoop on his retirement announcement when you know that he probably has a plan to do it himself. All right, Adam Schefter, you could sit this one out. I'll give you my analogy. I'm going to compare Tom Brady to an 80-year-old war veteran that I know. My buddy Mike, who is an 80-year-old war veteran. There's a guy that comes to the softball field once in a while, and he plays. Not that they let him play. He plays. Like, he catches, and he'll take an at-bat here or there. But, I mean, you're talking about an 80-year-old guy that just likes to hang with the fellas, right? Wears his fucking military hat. For 80, the guy looks fantastic.
I used to be a lot faster.
No, but I mean, like, 80. Who is 80? I said, as much as people hate her, like, a Spot. Nancy Pelosi's 82. I mean, whether you hate her or love her, she looks fantastic for 82.
Is he a Korean War vet?
I think he is.
Trying to put the time.
Put the timeline. He's not. World War II was too long ago. Vietnam is
So it's Korean War.
But this guy's. I mean,
why do I think John Riggins? John Riggins 82. I don't know.
Riggins was a running back now.
Why do I pick? Who's 82? Like famous.
82. John Taylor, 49ers receiver. 82. That's the
Yeah,
only one
82. I know it's a receiver number.
Yeah, 82. This famous 82s. I can only think of. Oh, by the way,
That's why I
there's a
thought-
new Montana that'll put me out of my 49ers funk. The new Montana documentary. I haven't watched the latest one. So, Mike, 80-year-old Mike, that comes to the softball field.
Good guy.
Keep in
Logan
mind.
Thomas?
Keep in mind, there's a bunch of.
The greatest NFL players that wore the number 82. Here we go.
John Taylor's got to be on that list.
Ozzie Newsome.
Newsome.
Raymond Berry. Alan Page. John Stallworth. Shannon Sharp. That's who you're thinking of.
Shannon Sharp.
Continue with
Jason
the story.
Jason
Skip.
Witten.
Continue with the story.
Well, anyway.
John Taylor.
Yeah. Mike's a war veteran who's like an 80-year-old guy, comes down to hang with the fellas. Everyone that we play with is probably like 30 something to like 50 something, but he hangs because some of the older guys are there. If Mike hits a fucking line drive in the hole or a ground ball up the middle, you're not diving and trying to get Mike out. You sort of let him get the hit out of respect. Nah. Like if this guy gets up to the bat and hits a line drive, if this guy hits a line drive to left field.
This guy like the special needs kid?
No, but if Mike hits a line drive to left field, guess what the left fielder's not doing? He's not coming up throwing to first because Mike's fucking running to first. It's like, yo,
I'm taking him out
respect.
like Costanza did to Bette Midler in Seinfeld.
Yo, if Mike is actually deciding
it's a courtesy.
It's a courtesy involved. Like, and you know what? Sometimes it's a new guy that doesn't give Mike that courtesy if Mike's around, and we look at him like, yo, fucking Korean War veteran that wants to. He's 80 and he's hanging out with the guys, and he's a fucking nice guy. How's your kids? How's the wife? How's it? No, I mean, give the guy the respect.
Bet you this guy's can take a lot more than you can in your little short shorts.
And
this guy's a man.
He is a man.
He's a man.
He's a really good guy.
He's seen a lot.
He's seen it.
He's seen a lot. And
He's
you know
seen
what?
it all. What branch of the military was he in?
If he's seen a lot, he could see me.
Do you wear a Navy hat?
He could see me throw
I
him
think
out
he does
from
wear a
center
Navy
field.
hat.
Then he's Navy guys love to wear their like USS whatever hats.
And you know what?
Oh, he's a
What
man.
you're saying is Tom Brady has earned that courtesy.
He's not a military veteran, but Tom Brady. It's a matter of like people don't. You have to differentiate the difference of who you give that extra respect to.
Why do these guys want to baste in his retirement glory? Go fuck yourself. Honestly, all of them. I'm not calling out one specific guy.
Yeah.
Everybody who ran with the story. I mean, I believed it because we put this sort of credibility on these dudes who have none. They have none. Yeah, they have inside sources. Next time you have to remind yourself, who are your inside sources?
Hey,
where did you get this information?
This is not
it's just a great reminder of we can't believe everything that we read and hear.
This
I'm
is
glad
not
that
a-
Brady was
you
like,
know
nah.
what it is? It really is like disrespectful.
It
And
is.
because
it's not where's
We-
Aaron
we
Rodgers
told
going
this-
to play next. It's
And
Tom
by the
Brady.
way, you don't-
Tom Brady's hanging
That's
it
a
up.
bad story to fuck up, by the
hold
way.
on, we told this. I mean, this might be a bad analogy. You know, I'm horrible at analogies, but we told the story recently. Our good buddy, friend of the show, guest on several times, Cal Penn was recently came out.
Yeah.
Recently spoke about coming out, and we told the story on the show how years ago he was on our show.
It was
We had a
funny.
pre-recorded interview, and in that interview he kind of alluded to the fact that he was
Alluded.
gay.
He goes, I
went
got a
like this.
boyfriend.
I said,
All right.
no, I said to him, I said, Cal, I said, what's up with your relationships, man? Like, you married or what's going on? Like, we never see you or hear about you in the news or tabloids with anyone significant. And he goes, something, well, me and my boyfriend.
He's like, well, my boyfriend.
I was
would,
like,
you said something like, I never see with the ladies. You said something like, I never see with the ladies, and he's like, well, I don't know if my boyfriend would like that.
Right.
Yeah, and you were
He's
like,
And he's
like,
like,
he's
no,
like-
serious. I went,
oh,
really?
Oh,
I didn't know.
We didn't know you were gay. Oh,
So
cool.
we found this bit
Hold
of
on.
information
And
out.
then I do got to say this because not everybody knows this story. Cal Penn says, you know, I'm glad you brought that up. No one ever asks. He goes, I'm not hiding this information. No one's ever asked me. No one really cares about, you know, goofy Indian guy and who he's associated with. No one's ever asked me about it. It's not that he was hiding it.
And then, after the interview,
After the interview.
his publicist like kindly went up to us in Spot and said, hey, can you just out of respect for your relationship with Cal and just, you know, this wouldn't be the way he'd want to come out.
Right.
Can you pull that part of the interview? And I didn't think Covino being like, hey, yo, you got a girlfriend? No, I'm actually gay. What? Hey, I didn't think.
Good one.
I just didn't think that.
So
And
by
we all didn't think that's how Cal Penn should have been outed. So we said, yeah, sure, take it out.
By no means.
But you, if you were Adam Schefter's spot, you know what you would have done? You would have fucking rolled the story.
So by no means is Cal Penn's sexuality anywhere close of a huge story as
But it was his to announce.
as Tom Brady's retirement. But that's what I'm trying to say. Like it was his to announce. You don't always have to get the scoop and the sexy story and
Yes,
get a jump
piece
on
of
everybody
shit behavior.
at the sake of other people's, you know, integrity.
Well, I mean, look at what Andrew Hart said, though. His job is to verify facts and publish them. That's his
True.
job. But
Owes Brady nothing.
let
Look at,
this one slide.
You know,
But
look
then
at
someone else beats him
Woodward,
to the
Woodward
punch.
and Bernstein. They took down a president.
I disagree. Dishing info on Cal Penn being gay is totally not even close to the same thing as leaking Brady's retirement.
We're not saying it's the
it's
same
not the
magnitude.
same
I'm not saying it's the same
It's
magnitude.
just the same.
I'm saying the principle behind it.
Yeah, the principle of like
That was my
knowing
analogy.
that the person doesn't want you saying it. That's the thing. Aaron Rodgers, if Aaron Rodgers is like talking to New England, I'm not New England, talking to New Orleans, talking to Denver, talking about sticking in Green Bay, if you have an insider scoop on like a trade or something like that, it's a bit different than like, why are you trying to jump the gun on Brady's retirement?
Yeah, like Rich, you said the other day, you're like, you know all about Brady, right?
Yeah.
You studied him for 20 years.
I've known,
you know everything
I
he's
know
you know
everything about TB12.
everything he's done and everything he's going to do.
I know,
so you
I
probably
know
knew
stretches. Yeah, I
you
knew
probably
before
knew
Adam Schefter.
You probably knew before Adam Schefter he was going to retire. Let's say you had the opportunity to release that scoop. Would you have done it? You clearly knew.
I would not have. We've held back stuff like that, and you know what? It probably hurt our careers because we took the high road, and we've done that on more than just Cal Penn.
Yeah, it's like you have you build integrity, and I think people respect integrity
I'd rather
more
be a
than
good
this group.
person.
Yeah, that's why I never wanted to be in news.
Didn't Adam Schefter? Yeah, you know what? I'll be honest, Spot. That's sort of. I'm not even joking. Spot talks about the classes he took, like doing news reporting.
By the way,
I took a lot of those classes too. I just didn't do the field work Spot did, like go out and like be like a up and coming reporter. But I took all those classes at Syracuse, and everything about the news world sort of left like a gross taste in my mouth. Like, so like you're asking people about like a fire that just burnt down their house. So you're interviewing the person who just lost their family member and you're trying to get something. Like, I don't know. To me, the news just always felt gross to me.
I had to do that. I told you, but during the DC sniper thing, I was like all over, like filming dead bodies and all that kind of stuff. I think I'm going to do a behind the velvet rope because I this weekend dug out my big DVC Pro deck, which is the old style of tape that we used in college. So I was dubbing off some old stories, and I'm like, I was really good, but I really hated what I had to do sometimes.
Spot.
I had some good reports. I was really good.
Yo, Spot, I got one for you. Just to show
I was very
that
chubby though.
That like we've always taken the high road, and what I think is the right classy move when it comes to learning information that could be salacious.
Look what Alex Perman said. How do you feel about that?
I don't like it.
He goes, definitely taking the high road has hurt your progress, and he may be right, but I'm okay with that. It's like selling your soul. Like,
I'll tell you what I like about it. I mean, it's not like we're done. I believe the cream rises to the top, and the good things we've done will pay off in the future. And that's when I tell everybody to lick my ass. That's how it's going to happen.
There's a way to do, like, I remember in the last year when we were having a lot of interviews on SiriusXM remotely, so we were getting access to more people.
Yeah.
You know, there were a couple times where we did play the, hey, let's get the cool quote angle, and you get exposure.
It doesn't mean
but at the end of the
that you need to
day,
be gross about it. Like if we're interviewing somebody and we find out that they don't want to talk about their significant other because they're going through a divorce or something.
Yeah.
But the public doesn't know about it. We know about it. We're not going to be jerk offs and fucking roll forward with that.
There's a way to there's a fun, or not a fun way, but a lighthearted way to expose certain information.
I agree but disagree. I think you either have to go in on that or not, and we never did. And if a guy like Alex thinks that held us back, I'm okay with that because I don't want to be the guy that's like, hey, Kelly Clarkson's going through a really rough divorce. She doesn't want to talk about it. I don't want to be the guy that's like, we're live on the air. All right, cool. Yo, Kelly, so tell us about your ex-husband. Like, to me, that's like scumbag behavior.
Salacious and cheap.
I don't like it.
It is.
I don't like it. You know, Spot, I'll give you one. When you lived with my ex-girlfriend, you were privy to all the Brett Favre shit a year before everyone else, and you're like, yeah, that's terrible. Why on earth would I try to blow up someone's spot or something? Like,
I was probably even closer to the story than you were.
Of course, yeah, but I'm saying, like, there have been times where we've had information that
we
we
speculation that it was your dick Spot.
Yeah.
In that picture, is that true?
Yeah, that's the speculation.
You think in 2008 I had great pubes?
No, but you had orange Crocs. I remember.
Yeah. Oh, that's true.
But what I'm saying is, when you get information,
great pubes.
I think it's a testament to your
character.
Your character, if you're quick to want to be like, let me sell this to the highest bidder. Let me break the news. Adam Schefter. Now,
culture,
I know it's Adam Schefter's job, right? So I can't say I don't get it. But
yeah, but as a reporter, it also has to be proven.
No, but I'm saying when Adam Schefter gets that initial information, he then has to do his John Dillerman. He has to do his due diligence and reach out to the camp of Brady and be like, is this true? And I'm sure someone in the Brady camp's like, hey, listen, I'm not going to confirm or deny, but Tom has an announcement he wants to do on his own accord. And Adam Schefter is probably like, yeah, great. I'm ignoring that. Bye. Because you don't think they gave Adam Schefter and these guys some type of answer like, hey, listen, Tom's going to make an announcement, but soon. Hold off.
Either way,
and they ignored it because
his reputation led us to believe that what he says is fact.
The way they usually do it is, I have a story where I hear Tom Brady's retiring that I'm going to run. Would you care to comment? And they'll probably say no, and then he'll still run it. Well, it'll say allegedly. As long as you throw the word allegedly.
In his defense, everybody ran that story. And it's almost like announcing someone's death and then realizing, like, yeah, no, he's still alive. It's like you got to confirm that they were dead before you start posting all your memoriams about it.
Adam Schefter's a journalist. I get it.
But it was the worst time to be wrong. We're talking about a huge name. And a huge announcement.
Tom Brady, that would be, I mean, he's not going to do it, but Spot, if he had the spite that you had, he'd play one more season.
I'd play a spite season.
A spite season. Season of spite.
I would definitely play a spite season.
If you watch, I know you don't watch, which you were looking for something new to watch?
Love spite.
Remember just the other day you said, I'm looking for something to watch?
I am. I'm done. I'm out of things.
Well, I got something for you.
I solved Netflix. I finished it.
I watched something last night for an episode, and I couldn't get into it because I think there's a couple scenes that were one long, continuous, amazing, fucking insane, awesome scene. But because it's a foreign show, it's hard to connect to the characters because of the dialogue. You're not getting any of it because it's the Asian zombie show that's like trending on Netflix right now. We're All Dead or something like that.
Oh,
it was trending.
I saw that Danish show Chosen.
I mean, by the way, the zombie scenes though
Chosen
are probably better than any other zombie show. But you're not going to connect to the people because it's very. You can't connect to the characters.
You gonna say Asian?
That's very Asian. Like you can't connect to it.
I'm pretty sure he was Asian.
No, but if it's
but he was Asian. I'm pretty sure. What is that? That's Ben Stiller and Cable Guy.
Yeah.
The Cable Guy. He's like the It's supposed to be like the Menendez brothers.
Yeah. He was Asian.
Yeah, I think that's it. No, but the show I was gonna say to tie it into this conversation. Morning show. You never watched that, right?
No.
On Apple?
No, but
you're gonna love that. That's gonna be your show.
What about Squid Game? Squid Game was Asian and it had subtitles.
No,
I loved it.
No. Oh no, this because I was.
And I connected to all the characters, especially that annoying.
No, they don't overdub it. Spot. You just read the subtitles.
Yeah.
All right. Well, anyway, morning show. You realize that they do a lot of these. We found the story, and they'll go to the source and be like, "Yo, I'm printing this regardless. Do you want to comment?"
I just said that.
No, but I want to bring a morning show because you see it a lot on that show, Spot, because there's a lot of like Matt Lauer type of shit. And it's like, hey, we're going to print this right here. So regardless, by the way, we're printing this. So do you want to, we're going to print this story about Steve Covino being a piece of shit. This is going to be in the news. So you tell me, Steve Covino, do you want to? You wouldn't. Do you want to comment? And that's sort of probably, they're probably like, yo, Tom, we're going to run this regardless. Do you have a comment? You know?
Yeah, this is Tom Brady though.
Like I could have an inside source. That inside source could be close to you, and it could be legitimate. You know?
Yes, sir.
Again, it's Tom Brady. That's the difference here. All right, so that was in the news. Can't not acknowledge that because everyone was like, "Wow, he retired." You were telling your friends and family, and then you're like, "Wait, no, he didn't." Wait, no, he's saying no. Everyone's saying no.
Just kidding.
Just kidding, I guess. But I still think he will. Got another story for you, Rich.
Oh, by the way, you know what I thought about? One last. I want to finish sports. Sports.
You want me to play the sports intro?
No, I just had one last thing, Spot, because I was thinking about how
sports,
man.
In the.
You want to talk about Rafael Nadal?
Sports.
No, I was just going to say.
He won his 21st Grand Slam.
No, I was going to say in the lifetime of our show, 16 plus years now.
How about that U.S. men's soccer team?
How about it?
16 plus years doing the show together. Going on year 17.
Want to talk about Daytona? It's 3 weeks away.
That guy was funny last night on Fox. By the way, that might be my new gimmick.
Fuck out of here.
That might be my new gimmick on terrestrial radio when we do Fox. I just might be a complete asshole to the listeners, and that might be like my gimmick. Like, yo.
Well, I honestly,
it's because we got a lot of feedback. We got a lot of feedback about it. But funny,
we did. But I've always try to not let the listeners or callers dictate our show, right? And you allow that here on Patreon. You'll read a comment and then you start running with it. But on Fox, some dude will be like, yeah, let's talk about this. And then you're like, no, we're not talking about
Yeah,
that.
because I have to cater to these people.
See, but that's not good. That's why I don't
They're
ignore the
patrons.
feedback, but I try to stay in my lane.
But I'm saying last night, I looked at the...
Some guy called up about Daytona. We have nothing to say about it
we're-
anyway.
we're in the
But
middle-
Rich is very dismissive. Like, we're talking about Super Bowl.
We're in the middle of two close championship games. The Rams had just won. The Bengals, everyone's talking about Joe Burrow. And some guy's like, well, you know the big story, guys, Daytona. And I went off on this guy. I'm like, Daytona?
There's an NASCAR race in LA next week.
Daytona? And by the way, even when you go off a little bit on old school radio, it's amplified because those people never usually go off.
Right.
So me making fun of this guy, our feedback was like, yo.
Yeah. Then I got to play good cop and be like, oh, Rich, come on.
Oh, man, Rich is yelling at people.
Hey, man, we don't mean it.
It was fun, though.
We're not going to talk about Daytona when we're in the middle of the playoffs. Two exciting games just ended.
Know what I was thinking about? I was thinking about, let's say, it's just sports. I mean, we get emotionally involved because it's fun. It's what we're passionate about, right?
Just sports.
But Spot, I'm saying we get emotionally involved and root for our teams.
Who are you?
Now, we've done the show 17 years. In the time we've done this show, the Mets have lost the World Series. The 49ers have lost 2 Super Bowls. 49ers have won some big games, lost some championship games. The Yankees won one World Series in 2009. So we've in a 17-year period, our rooting interests have only resulted in one major championship, all sports combined, everything. Colleges, everything. So it is pretty wild to think that we think of the 80s and 90s like it was yesterday. But like the 86 Mets, when we were growing up, it was like, all right, that's a couple years ago. All right, that's like 10 years ago. All right, that's like 20 years ago. We're at the point now where before you know it, the 86 Mets is going to be like 40 to 50 years ago. Mm-hmm. To the point where the idea of like, you know, when a team wins, it's like, when was the last time they won? Mm-hmm. And it's when you were younger, it was like, they haven't won since the 50s or 60s. And you're like, man, they were due. Yo, the Mets are fucking due. The 49ers haven't won since 95. That was 27 years ago.
Due.
So what I'm saying is, in your lifetime, what do you hope to average as a sports fan? Do you hope that you're a 40-something-year-old guy? Would you be pleased with the Yankees winning one more World Series in your life? Would that not be enough? There's guys that went their whole life. Like, think like Chicago guys are like, I'm 90 and the Cubs finally won. Like, I root for these teams and I have fun with it. The Niners fell short. The problem with the Niners Spot.
The reminder is it's not easy.
The problem
to do
Spot
this.
with the Niners and why a game like yesterday will bum me out is because you get close. And as I've always said, getting close almost hurts more sometimes than not being in it. Right? Like the Niners, they've lost 3 NFC championship games in the last like 10 plus years. They lost in the Super Bowl twice. When your team loses and they're that close, you think to yourself, because there's a possibility that no, never. Will I ever watch my team win a championship? And then you start saying, well, what's the odds? Well, the Mets just got Scherzer. So if they don't fucking get close now with Scherzer and DeGrom, like, then they're hopeless.
Showalter,
and Buck Showalter.
That's obviously his ultimate goal.
Yeah. I mean, in the lifetime of our show, will I ever be able to cheer? You had it one time. It was the best week of your life. Your daughter was born, and the Yankees won the World Series in the same week. That might have been the peak of your life.
Had 2 days. 2 days of fun.
In a 2-day period.
It's a 2-day span.
In a 2-day period, the Yanks won the World Series, and Melody was born.
Mm-hmm. So November 2nd, November 3rd, 2009. I had 2 good days in my adult life.
It's like when you're NW said, blowouts sometimes are better than slim margins because slim margins get you thinking like, what if he made that interception? Oh, what if he wasn't caught stealing? What if that pitcher was pulled out? Like, as a fan, you're like, man, am I ever going to be able to, like Cincinnati fans right now?
That's why you respect what Tom Brady did.
It makes it
Not
so
easy.
like a guy like Mark Zito became fucking unrealistic and jaded. Mark Zito, who's a Patriots fan, since I've known him, he's been able to be like Patriots 6 times since we've known him.
Yeah, it's incredible.
6.
Incredible.
Unbelievable.
Incredible.
Right? I said to Sarah, I go, you and your dad at least had that moment when the Packers were in the Super Bowl and her and her dad went to the game.
Here's why it's important, though.
No, her and her dad went to the game and they won. So her and her dad have that moment where they were in the stadium cheering, father-daughter hugging, like Packers won. They got their hats, their T-shirts. And I'm like, even if the Packers don't win again, you and your dad, when you were a grown woman, you're a 30-year-old grown woman at the Super Bowl with your dad and your team won. I'm like, that might be
it's your
it.
payoff. It justifies all those years you rooted.
Like, if the Bengals lose, David Castillo's right. When will they ever get back with Mahomes, with Josh Allen, with all those teams in the AFC? Like, Joe Burrow.
They'll build around Joe Burrow.
I know,
this guy's
but-
proven that, he needs more weapons.
It's not that easy, man. Look.
It's not easy.
Think of how good Russell Wilson
he's showing
was.
how good he is under pressure.
Think of how good Russell Wilson is.
Mm-hmm.
And now that dynasty in Seattle, and the dynasty loosely for sure, because they only won one Super Bowl, but they won one. It's so hard to win, which is why what Brady did is so remarkable. Like, so remarkable. And you forget sometimes when you were a younger man, when the Yankees were winning World Series after World Series after World Series, do you look back now and say, oh man, I was pretty spoiled?
Not only spoiled, like I said, it set the foundation of
World Series and nothing.
of expectations and of your confidence, like you're strut a little bit. I root for a winner. I feel like a winner. Fucking Yankees fan. You kidding me? Derek Jeter. Like, it gave you that extra boost of fuck yeah. And if you live life without that, like you're rooting for a loser, like Cubs fans traditionally, right? You're rooting for a loser. You feel like a fucking loser.
Like Spot, think about growing up. Think about growing up in New York.
It defines you and your confidence, but a winning season does make you feel good.
Spot, think about the Yankees when we were in high school and college.
Right.
Winning the World Series 4 out of 5 years. That's crazy. Like, the spoiled factor. And I get why Yankee fans were arrogant. And they were like, yeah, 27 rings, Jeter. And guys, Yankee fans would be like, oh, you don't celebrate the division win. You wait till, there was a point where Yankee fans were like, yeah, we don't even celebrate until it's the World Series. You got so arrogant. And now the Yankees haven't won a World Series in 13 years.
First decade, they haven't won a World Series.
And you wonder, wow, when will your team ever win? Like, let's say you are I think of our boy, like, think of guys that are sports fans. Drew Mack, Titans. Our buddy Rowe, Falcons fan. Anyone you think of, and you think of their team, Donnie Pompidou, Falcons fan.
Okay.
They must think like, yo, in my life.
Doug Ferrier, 1985 Blue Jays fan.
No, Doug Ferrier, Blue Jays fan. You ever think to yourself, are they ever going to win again? Because in our lifetime. In your lifetime. Because when you win, when your team loses.
Yeah, but that's what Joe Burrow does for you. He gives you hope because you can go from worst to first with the right people.
So
one person could change the entire organization.
Not long, boring story short. I think good point. Good point is that when you're a sports fan, when your team wins it, take in every moment of that because it may never happen again in your life.
In your life, you're right about that.
I was a 15-year-old kid. I was a 15-year-old kid with my number 8 Steve Young jersey. Like, yeah, Niners. I was a teenager thinking like, oh, this will happen again soon. Been over 25 years. I was a little kid, 6 years old with my little baseball glove. Go Mets! 86 World Series. Never happened again. It's one of those things, it's one of those things you forget. Like, look, Jordan, 85 Bears. Doing the Super Bowl shuffle. Soldier Field. That was 30.
But you still ride on that confidence a little bit, or that
37 years ago.
That
bro.
Excitement, like 85 Bears, bro.
What about for instance, our buddy King Carlos, Bears fan. I think of him. Our buddy Sports Rob from SiriusXM, Bears fan. Like you got Justin Fields now, but now you're thinking like, if he's not the guy, when will I ever win? Am I going to root for a loser forever? Lions fans.
I'd rather have
if you're a Lions fan, you got to be like, why am I even rooting for this team?
Well, they've taken accountability on ruining Daniel Jones's career so far, so hopefully they make some changes. Anyway, I don't want to geek out on sports anymore.
Okay, that's fine. It was not geeking out. It was just it was the point more about. All right, fine.
Kind of
what do you want me to talk about?
It's kind of like when I'm like, sweet, bro, Keith Thurman, bro, Barrios this weekend.
What do you want me to talk about? Spilling coffee?
That was way more fun when Sarah was yelling at you. Yeah. By the way, she's way hotter when she's yelling at Rich.
Oh, she yells at me in the bedroom. That's what I'm like, yeah, like, yell at me.
Yeah.
She slaps me around.
Nice. With a hockey stick?
Yeah. Oh, by the way, can I bring up one last point then about sports? And it's not really about sports. It's type of people.
See what she does with the handle.
There's two types of people. And one of them, I don't know what type of cloth they're cut from or not. There's a type of people that, like Covino, let's say the Yankees lose. Even if they bust your balls, they're like, yo, bro, sorry about your team. I know you were rooting. And there's people that are like, haha, your team fucking lost. The second person, to me, like a loser or something like that. Weird, odd behavior.
Yeah, it is odd behavior.
Like, to me, I could bust your, like Chris Rucker, leading up to the Niners-Cowboys game. I was like, yo, dude, I think my team's got it. I reached out to him like, yo, dude, I know you care a lot about the Cowboys. Sorry, brother. The guy that reaches out to that person and they make fun of them, it's like, you're happy I'm sad?
The only time I like is when Stephen A. Smith laughs at Cowboys fans.
That's sort of funny.
That shit is funny. But otherwise, yeah, it's odd behavior to be like, fuck you and your team. That's odd. Yeah, it's odd.
Yeah.
It's joy out of
it's really
that
weird.
kind of joy, like serious joy out of someone else's misery.
I finally blocked someone yesterday.
Really?
Because there's a guy that every day some guy
I'm like
busts
the
my
Keme
balls.
Mutombo, bro. I'm like,
Every day, this guy mocks me all the time. And yesterday,
Spot?
this guy Rob.
Oh.
And I was like, you know what? I think I'm done with this guy.
Spot?
Yeah,
so
just dismiss him.
And by the way, Roe said the Braves and the Georgia Bulldogs, he's embracing it because those were long stretches. He got two. He got the Braves and the Georgia Bulldogs within a year. Roe, this is the time of your life as a fan. Not to be a bummer, but it might not happen for another 20, 30 years. All right, done with sports. But it was a big part of the weekend, man.
It was.
The NFL playoffs delivered on a level that they could never have predicted, where every divisional game and championship game were decided by a field goal, last minute, or overtime, which is preposterous.
What did that guy do to make you block him? What does he bother you about?
Yeah, what did he
No, just about every topic we do and everything. And then yesterday...
Was it a 49ers comment?
Oh, was it Rob Jarulis?
Yes!
Oh, I blocked that guy a long time ago.
Yeah, he doesn't subscribe to our page.
I checked. That's why I'm like, you don't even subscribe? Fuck you. Why am I?
I've had conversations.
I've been long known that.
Yeah.
This guy, I'm like, you get no say. Get out of here. Beat it.
He constantly complains
Fuck outta here.
because he doesn't subscribe that, like, if we miss a Twitch show or something, or like he would want free content. Mm-hmm. And then claim he was going to subscribe.
There's too many people like him. At least he's outspoken. There's so many people that just want the free shit and they don't pay. So
talk down to us and be like, "Oh, well, you're not posting anything." Oh.
Yeah, no,
he thinks he's being funny though.
Yeah, that's what I thought too for a while. And I'm like,
block him. Who cares?
Oh, by the way, Spot.
He's
not going to hear this.
Yeah, he's not going to hear it. I mean, this guy was just rude.
I know him only because I get the same feedback.
But like after the 49ers
games, it bothers him even more. Know what he does? So I ignore him.
How you doing? How's your mind? Fuck out of here.
That's what I say to him.
And then he'll come back with some like nice stuff, like, "Hey man, that was a great show you had on Friday." I'm like, "Yeah, you had my free one, the only one you care about." But and then he'll say some condescending shit, constantly, and then I ignore it, and then he'll come back and be like, "Yeah man, you were looking handsome on." I'm like, so. That's just the game he plays.
No, it was. I just looked at my. You asked, so I'll answer. I looked at my inbox and I looked and I was like, man, it's like 20 messages in a row where I have not responded to this guy. So clearly, it's just a one-sided him trying to get my attention or something.
Yeah.
And it was like insult. Then it was like, yeah, fucking Rams, go Rams. Fuck you and United. Ha ha. You sad. I'm like, well, who is this guy?
Yeah.
Fuck.
You know what he's the example of? Beat it, Scram. Who needs you? No, I'm sorry, baby. Come back. Please. That's what he does, back, baby.
How you doing? Fuck out of here.
Addy.
Fuck out of here. Fuck out of here. Fuck out of here. Hey, how you doing?
Kyle earned it.
So big?
Kyle
Fuck
talks shit, but he said
outta
he's tier 2 and he pays double. So Kyle, you earned it.
There's truth to that. All right,
so you can say whatever you
anyway,
want.
I have a story for you.
Well, anyway,
getting off sports.
Yeah.
Fuck you, haters. Fuck out of here.
Oh, and then you know why I also blocked him? Because I watched it. I saw his comment after Sarah sent me a fucking adorable video of Emmy. Do you want to just play this like super quick Spot? I emailed it. I emailed it to Covino Rich. I hope it went through. I think it went through. It went through. It's my daughter trying to understand that the 49ers lost. because she was like rooting for them, like Dad's team. Because she's like, "Go Niners," and she's all like invested. She doesn't know what she's rooting for, but she knows it's like our little thing that we.
Was it like me trying to explain to my mom that the Buccaneers lost? I'm like, Tom Brady retired, Mom. She's like, but how's he gonna play in the Super Bowl? I'm like, no, Mom, they lost already.
Lost.
What do you mean they lost? I'm like, they lost. What do you mean? How'd you miss that? Sorry.
I don't know, but Spot, go. It's a long video. Go a minute 20 into it. You can't scroll. I'm telling you exactly where to go into it, Sarah. It's a long. It's like
I can't see the time on it.
Oh, you can't?
No, I'll figure it out.
Okay, that's fine. No worries. So you can play it later at the end of the show. Let's get into something else.
Videos play differently on here,
That is true.
I agree, Andrew. Rich is fired
Real quick
out of
before
a cannon.
Really? You think so?
I feel like
Before I
he
replace this
was
video.
licking all the coffee off that counter. Yeah, you deserve that.
Just real quick before, yeah. There you go.
Throw a straw at Rich's head.
Oh, that's good right
Oh,
there.
look at my face. Oh, yeah, look at Oh.
Look at your face. You're like,
Oh, no, my God,
Oh, we're watching Sarah throw a straw in Rich's face.
in my face.
That might be the ultimate form of disrespect.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
My face.
You have, honestly, you have like sympathetic ammo against her. Like, you threw a straw in my face.
On my show.
On my show.
Dare you?
I'll never forget it. You know how women bring up
on
the
my
dumbest
show.
shit and they never let it go? Like, yeah, that one time you said this, and they hold on to that forever.
Yeah.
You always got, like, you threw the straw in my face?
On my show.
On my show. You think that was okay? You think that was okay?
You disrespected me.
You could tell
You
Emmy
mean
and
like
Ben
how
about
you,
it.
you
Yeah.
disrespected you, like the time you threw a straw in my face.
Yeah. Mom said you used to put her down all the time. Oh, yeah? Did she tell you about the time? She threw a straw in my face. I got the video.
On my show.
On my face.
In my face. On the show.
You got ammo.
Let's see. Oh, wait.
That's so funny.
Over there it is. Okay.
Yeah.
So we're going like a minute in?
Yeah, like a minute in.
All right, a minute in.
Yeah, she's trying to figure like it's when Jimmy G threw the final interception, and so you hear Sarah like, oh no.
All right.
I think I said 3rd and long, so this is when he throws the interception.
What happened?
It's a butterfly.
Oh no!
What?
No!
What?
Oh, honey, the 49ers lost, buddy.
Mosh?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's over?
Well, they have a minute left, but I think the Rams, which are the blue team, are gonna kind of just hold on to the ball, I think.
They're not gonna give it. They're not gonna actually. Why they're holding it and not the red ones? Oh, why are they giving hugs?
Ben knows what's
Because
up.
that was a really good play for them.
Why are they getting hugs?
I know, buddy.
That's funny. No, they're still playing.
Well, that's called a replay. They're showing you what happened again.
It's me. I'm Emmy.
Ben had the best feedback.
Right?
Oh no, did it win?
No, buddy, I'm sorry.
I'm gonna tell Daddy.
You're gonna tell Daddy. You're gonna give him a big hug when you see him. Because he'll be sad.
But after he can't jump in the pool with his clothes on.
There you go. Now I can't jump in the pool with my clothes on.
Oh, that's so funny.
Is that cute?
Best
By the way,
fucking line.
So I'm watching-
betting that. He's stuffing my
watching-
face and like, no.
And by the way, adorable and great footage, but it's like, are you going to film it when you tell her there's no Santa Claus? No. Just for the reaction.
But I watched that cute video and I'm like, oh, my daughter. Like, what? I have nothing to be sad about. I got these cute kids. Life is good. No, and then I watch that and then I look at my Instagram and I'm like, hey, Rob Drew, fuck this guy. And it's like,
blocked.
Yeah, I was like, my cute little daughter. Then I felt sad. I'm like, oh, she's saying it's my team lost. And I was like, oh, how adorable. And then this motherfucker is writing some rude shit to me. Block.
Hey,
I
Rich.
got no time.
Just want to tell you that
Yeah.
SiriusXM didn't pick up our show last year.
You saying there's no show?
Saying, yeah, there's no more Covino and Rich on SiriusXM.
I'm going to tell Daddy.
So I can't jump in the
by the
pool.
way, Spot,
Yeah, you can't jump in the pool,
I
bud.
have a
Sorry.
I have a dumb thought, and I really do, because they're all my thoughts are dumb.
What? How Emmy comprehends the game just as much as I do?
But yes, that and
But they're still playing.
we always talk about how your first memories are usually when you're around 4 or 5 years old. That's what they say, right? Like your first like clear memories. I bet you the stupidity of me jumping in the pool with my clothes on when we have like a party might be one of Emmy's first memories. Like when she's older, like, yeah, I think I remember like, Dad, you like jumped in the pool. Like I really think that was so dumb that the fact that she even brought up there, I'm like, that might be one of her first memories. Isn't that ridiculous?
Yeah. Dad jumped in the pool in the middle of the night for no reason because he was excited that his team won.
Yeah, one of my first memories is a sporting event. It's, I think it is. That's interesting, right?
Now, I think Emmy's ready to co-host on Fox Sports Radio.
Yeah.
She has a good understanding of the game.
Instant replay fools young kids and old people. They're still playing. All right. Moving on. A great sports weekend.
Great sports weekend. Tom Brady did not retire yet. Covino and Rich, if you want to hear
I got
more
sources.
Of this, sources. Scoops Callahan.
I'm going to report something. You can comment on it. But this is the story that's going out.
You want more of this in a fun way and hear Rich's reaction live to the big loss last night. His 49ers lost. FoxSportsRadio.com. You can listen later. FoxSportsRadio.com to Covino and Rich on our Fox Sports podcast. Spot was bringing the fire last night.
Spot was funny last night.
Spot brought the heat. So
it was a funny show.
Listen back and listen to
The
Rich
energy.
as he ugly cries when his team loses.
You brought the energy, like your nervous energy, like didn't translate to nervous energy, but we felt the energy from it.
Yeah. It was a great time. Listen, your team can't win them all. I just want my team to win one time. Now, speaking of my daughter and kids,
I think this is the year for the Mets. I feel it.
Dude, don't even say that. One year, maybe it will be, Spot.
No, I feel it. Phones are.
Speaking of kids, I know one of your news stories, Covino. It's something that's so hard for me to comprehend. And it's.
Are we
Nick
going to the
Cannon.
news?
I mean,
Is it Rihanna's having a baby?
I mean, Rihanna's having a baby, but I think the story of just Nick Cannon having
8 kids.
8 kids. Like, I look at what 2 kids take. You look at what it takes to have a preteen daughter. Imagine having 8 kids. And I know they're probably, and not sound rude, but I know they're not all under his roof and under his responsibility and with different women and stuff. But imagine having 8 children. That doesn't seem wild to you?
Seems exhausting.
8 kids?
Christmas must suck.
Eight's a lot.
Now you decide to stop talking?
Was I nonstop?
You nonstop? Yeah. So you stop talking the 1 second I look down. I have contractors at my house. Now you forgot how to talk. The minute I got to figure this out.
I have protractors at my house.
Good one, Spot.
Somehow there's contractors at my house trying to get in, but nobody told us they were coming.
For what?
That's the weird part. To finish the shed, the roofing.
The
roofing?
The
roofing?
The roofing?
The roofing. You want to hear it live?
Yeah.
Here. Hello?
Hi. Have I reached Steve?
This is Steve.
Steve, good morning. It's Lynn with IMS Construction. How are you?
Hi. How are you?
Great. My crew is there needing access to your unit, please.
Okay, I'll notify someone immediately, but nobody told me they were coming.
Oh, we have you on the schedule for today, sir.
Yeah, nobody told me that, though. Yeah, so let me see if I can get somebody there to open a door for you, because, again, no one let me know. Okay, cool.
Okay, you have my office number, sir?
I do.
Okay, very good. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Have a splendid day.
Thank you. You as well.
Bye.
Seemed a little like rude.
Yo, bro. They don't tell me. And by the way, how could I have been any nicer? Magical? Should I say
but
have
you
a
were like-
splendid spot? He
Have
said
a
magical
But
day.
I think she picked up on the sarcasm in your tone.
I don't know. I think she just thought he was a pleasant man.
This she's a nice woman, so
Yeah.
she was goofy.
Yeah.
I've spoken to her before, but like they didn't even tell me, and they've called me 3 times. Like, aren't you supposed to notify me and let me know you're coming?
I don't understand you. I don't understand
It's
your
not
life.
me, bro. What do you mean? How does that have
He
to do
was
with me?
He was bubbly and said splendid, Spot. What more can he do?
And by the way, they're blowing up my phone. They called me 3 times. You know what they
By
should
the
have
way-
done? called me like earlier, yesterday, emailed me, let me know they were going to be there.
Your mom taught you well with her phone voice.
Oh, you got a good mom phone voice.
Playing it up for the show.
I know. Splendid.
And by the way, Jordan hit me up. She's like, they're already there. Like, why are they calling you? They're already in there. They're already inside.
They're inside?
Yeah, no, they're already there, she
Jordan?
said. Nobody told me. All right. So, sorry, carry on.
Carry on.
I hate to break the fourth wall. I was trying to ignore the phone call. And then Rich is like...
I know what Spot's trying to say. Spot's trying to say what Ryan Bones just hit us up with. There was an ounce of passive aggressiveness on both sides of the call.
Nobody told me.
It was like, we're there, sir.
What do they expect, though?
You?
They expect
we
somebody
are.
to say... They expect somebody to be on standby?
you on the schedule.
That's fucked up, though. Like... Let me know ahead of time.
Well, you didn't tell me. Well, it's okay, sir.
You bother me about everything. You email me about everything else. If I didn't make my payment, you're going to email me to let me know, right? Let me know. So,
Splendid.
I carry on. Speaking of construction, perfect. See how the show writes itself? Yeah. There's a guy that's worked for my parents for years now, and you need to know the backstory.
Is it
to
your
understand.
handyman Buell?
He is a handyman, right? But he's done everything.
Wait, hold on.
Yeah.
That new show that I told you about with Kristen Bell that's like a spoof, but it's not of like a murder mystery.
What about it?
There's a character that's like the handyman. And I'm like, do people have handyman? And I had this conversation with Sarah yesterday, and you're like, my family has a handyman.
Are you kidding me, bro? You sound like a bozo right now.
Everyone has a go. Yeah. It's like the go-to guy that you call for issues.
Handyman from In Living Color.
I feel like my mom had a handyman.
And the answer is yes. My parents have probably had like a solid 3 guys throughout my lifetime.
Rich has a handsy man.
Rich is the handyman. So, yeah, they've had a handyman. Same dude for, let's say, the past 10 years. And it's important to the story, okay? Because
I hear Tommy looks like the handyman.
When I tell you, he does. When I tell you that my parents must have put a career's worth of money into his pocket, I'm not lying. And there's a reason they've worked with him. My mom had a good relationship with him. You know, he's a Mexican guy. So he's very nice to him. They're very nice to each other. But he did great work. And he does great work. So my parents just kept paying him for everything. Like if my parents needed the bathroom done, he did the bathroom. He did the living room. And, you know, my dad's not a lazy guy. He's doing all the stuff that he could do, but I'm talking construction, right? When it comes to painting shit and, you know, fixing things, my dad does all that. This guy has redone every room in the entire house.
Has he been working on the mailbox for years?
Oh, is that the joke?
Yeah, it's a joke on the
But he's
show.
made a lot of money off of my family. That's what you need to know.
Yeah.
A lot. Like, I'm talking a lot. I even asked my dad to, like, you know, throughout the years, how much he say you'd give this guy. He's like, yeah, shit. Well, he did the top upstairs bathroom. He did the downstairs bathroom. He painted this. He painted that. He's doing everything. He's done everything at the house. He did the garage. He redid the whole house, you know, in the past 10 years. He's also helped my sisters out. Like, I think he did some of my shit when I lived in New Jersey, right? So, you know, referrals, helped my aunt. Anyway, the guy's always there. So this guy's his name's Victor. He's like part of the family. He's like, oh, Victor's here.
Yeah.
He's there all the time doing some shit because my mom is always in the business of doing some shit new.
Did they just like
this past weekend? They put the new stone in front of the fireplace.
Did they just
called something?
Hire him one day and they're like, hey, he did good work, so they just kept him on for the rest of their life?
No, but that makes sense though. And I'm not. I don't want to cut you off. Continue. I was just going to say because
you don't want to cut me off. But that's your job.
All right, go on.
Just kidding. I'm only playing.
I just thought like my contractor. I wonder how long my relationship will be with him.
Oh, forever.
He's not a handyman.
No, I know exactly. But what I'm saying is he lives local and him and his guys all live around here. So like if I do need anything, I just wonder how that works because you're saying handyman. I get what you're saying.
Guy does good work in his defense. So my parents just kept bringing him back. And he's been around for a long time and he's made a hell of a, like he drove a piece of shit, like dilapidated Sanford & Son sort of truck when he first started working for my family. Now he's like in a nice van and shit. Like,
who do you think paid for it?
Yeah, my parents did. So that's part of the story. You need to know, like they've given this dude a lot of money throughout the years. I mean, he's worked hard. My dad said he figured it out. He's about a little over 200 an hour. I sort of evened it out. That's what he's paying this guy. Jeez. But again, it adds up. This guy's been doing a lot of work. He does a great job. So, because he does a great job, my sister Jen was getting work done at her house, and have Victor do it. He'll come over, fucking put the light fixtures up, paint the fucking this, fix the banister, do that, put new stairs in. He did everything, right? He's breaking down walls or some shit at my sister's house.
He finds a dead body.
Would you believe that shit?
Wait, are you serious?
No.
Oh.
So he's redoing a closet or some shit.
Your deadpan was great there.
And he finds an envelope, right?
It's money?
Yeah, and he finds an envelope, and there's $1,000 in it, cash money, right? I have to imagine, this is all speculatory now. He's like, what do I do? Nobody probably knows that this money's here. What do I do? He had to have the call my family, figure it out, think about it moment of $1,000 cash. I break my ass for $200 an hour.
They do well.
He does well. I'm telling you, my parents have given him, I think, hundreds of thousands of dollars throughout the years.
Yeah,
for real.
He's got a new van.
So they keep him busy.
It's also for supplies too and overhead and stuff. But nonetheless, he is.
You got to understand, they keep him busy, man. They keep this dude busy. They give him work. They've referred him to other people, right? He's always working for my family. Always. That's no exaggeration. So this dude finds $1,000 cash, probably has a moment of, fuck, they're not going to know.
They're going to know.
They're not going to know.
They're going to know.
They're not going to know.
They're going to know.
I mean, even me, I have I try to be an honest John, an honest Abe. Abe Lincoln, shout out.
Every day.
Even I would be like, man, they just moved into this house. The previous owner left $1,000 cash in his closet.
Yeah, I think it's his to keep.
You're a joke.
No.
Here's the question. So he probably thinks it out, and he brings it to my sister and, essentially my family. Keep in mind, my dad's the patriarch and matriarch are the ones sort of running the show still, right? So my sister is like, wow, cool, $1,000. He then calls my parents later on, and he makes reference. My dad's on the phone with him again. He speaks Spanish. My dad speaks English. And he's like, yes, I think I was supposed to get the money. The money. He's saying he wants the money, at least half of the money.
No, he got.
And my dad's coming from a place of, you fucking kidding me? All the money I've paid you all these years, all the jobs I've given you, all the money, and
money
you're thinking about taking the money you found. That's my daughter's house.
It's okay.
That's my daughter's house that she paid money for. That's her home.
It's over.
And you're thinking about, you want this money? Now, granted, my dad is a very generous guy in the sense of, we know the game. If you lose your wallet and someone returns it, you're going to give them money, right? Like, hey, man, thanks for that. Here's $100. Here's $200. My dad was already thinking, man, he gave back the $1,000. I'm going to have to give him, I guarantee, $200, $300 of that money as a tip.
That's fair.
But when that guy is saying that he was unsatisfied because, yeah, I got paid, but where's my reward? It's like the person that asks for a tip, but then when you give them a tip, they want more of a tip. It's like something so ungrateful about it. So I bring this story to your attention to sort of just play it out. This guy found $1,000. What is he entitled to? Or is he entitled to anything at all?
I think a third or a half, because if there was no handiwork being done, nothing would have been found anyway. And a different handyman would never have even admitted that he found
like
it.
5 or 10 grand.
That's what I was thinking. I was like, how do you know he didn't already find more than that and just say, here's $1,000 that I found, right? Like, we don't know that. But my dad was like, he didn't even give us a chance to give him the tip. Yeah. We hadn't seen him yet, right? And he goes, I was so mad because we've treated this guy like family. We give him, whatever he needs. And we've given him jobs and work for all these years. And he's bothering me about his reward. He's like, I had to give the phone over to your mother because I couldn't believe what I was hearing. And I wanted to be clear. That's what he was saying. So my mom basically probably in Spanish.
Told him to beat it.
Told him to fucking fuck out of here. Fuck out of here.
So now he's no longer the family handyman.
Well, I'll tell you what. His work speaks for itself.
Fuck out of here.
And he works reasonable.
Fuck out of here. Fuck out of here.
I don't think they're gonna stop continuing to work with Victor, but it leaves a bad sort of
he's done.
taste.
Yeah, it does.
But Rich said,
Because then you wonder.
he deserved all of it.
I mean, he doesn't deserve all of it. I was just being a bit harsh.
Now
I think the fact that you got to keep in mind a couple things, right? I believe you already pointed out, so I'll just say what you said. We all know the rule. If someone finds your wallet and they give it back to you, and the cash is mysteriously not there, but they give you your cards and your ID, you're just thankful you got that shit back.
You give him a few bucks, depending on what you could afford, right?
How
much it meant to you.
If you lost your, all right, let's say you left your iPhone somewhere, and someone's like, "Yo, I found your iPhone. I tracked you down and gave it to you." And you're like, "Oh, that person just sent me like $1,000." You're gonna give that person like, "Yo, here's $100 or whatever."
Thanks
like,
again, man.
like you got it.
You really say, and then they're gonna be like, "No,
But-
you're like,
but
no,
the
really, you
reality
saved me
is,
a big hassle. I appreciate it.
If
I
it wasn't Victor, the family handyman, if it wasn't Buell, fixing the mailbox.
Because who's to say then he doesn't go to your parents' house and steal some shit?
That's where my dad's thinking goes immediately. He's thinking about taking my daughter's money, this job we give him. What the fuck's he thinking when I'm not around in my house? Right?
Well, I
so
think
he broke that fucking trust a little bit.
The
I think it's
honesty,
fucked
though,
up.
I mean,
it's a little annoying to come with the request of, and my dad's thinking was, he returned it. He returned the money, probably went back home, and his friends and family are like, well, you better get some of that.
Yeah.
And instead of waiting to see, he immediately put the hard press on my parents. Where's my money? You know, and it's like, yo, chill with that. I don't know. I think the obvious is like what we're trying to say here. He deserved something.
I think.
Did he deserve half? The guy was requesting half, by the way.
I think half is.
I think it's too much.
Nah, I don't know, dude. You know how we always talk about on the show. You're forced to have an opinion when you really don't.
But it's not.
You're forcing me to have a quick opinion. My quick opinion is, if this Victor guy wasn't someone that knew your family, I promise you, 9 out of 10 handymen
would have kept it.
Would have just kept it and not even said they found it.
It's not. But it's not.
So the
finders
fact that
keepers.
no, but I'm saying
that's someone else's house you're working on.
I know, but I think it wasn't your sister's either.
I say tell him to
I know,
but it's her home.
I know it's her home.
Hold on, bro.
Tell him to kiss off, piss off.
Yeah, it's her home. She has more right to that money than this idiot.
Money. It's my money.
It's not finders keepers,
if
bro.
my contractor was, I don't know, let's say my landscaper was digging around the yard, putting in new sod, and he's like, I dug over here and I found a little box, and inside the box was $1,000. It's not my box. Someone must have buried it years ago.
Your property now. You're the
know,
homeowner.
I know, but
you have more right than this guy that you hired to work there.
Of course, but I would never have found it. If they weren't being honest, they wouldn't even told me in the first place. It's a good example, like my garage, right? When we redo this garage eventually, when the time is right, and they rip all the shit down, they put up new sheetrock and all that. Let's say Eric, my contractor, or one of his guys, Jesse, or one of the dudes that works for him, was like, yo, I found like a little, I went into my attic. I went into my crawl space
There's
spot.
definitely some shit
Know
in this house.
Know what I found in the crawl space upstairs? Like high school yearbooks and college acceptance letters. Fun fact, the previous owner went to Arizona State. But I found all these personal effects. And I'm like, what if in here there's like an envelope of money? And I'm like, well, you know what?
People love hiding money.
I was like, you know who's been up here though? Air-conditioned people, contractors, everyone. So if there was money, it's gone. Because I assume that if it's not mine, I didn't know about it. It is sort of finders keepers when you're redoing a house on that level.
10. Better count your jewelry. I bet you some of it's missing. I don't trust this guy.
I'm not saying it's right, Covino, but I'm
Tell him
telling
to
you.
kiss off.
I'm telling you, it's not right. It's not right at all. But nine out of 10 times, it is a finders, keepers, losers, weepers deal. So you're lucky.
But you're making it like it's okay. That's not okay either. That's not okay behavior.
It's not okay, but it's normal behavior.
No, it's not. That's called stealing from someone else's home. What are you talking about? Bro, you're fucking ass backwards sometimes. I don't get you.
I'm not saying it's right. I'm saying what's right. Normal doesn't mean it's right.
He always enters rooms ass backwards.
It's not right.
All right, answer this question then for yourself.
What would have been right is my parents saying, thank you, here's a reward. But he never gave them a chance to do that.
Your dad's saying whatever you find in my house is mine.
I agree with that statement.
I agree with that.
Justifying it.
But I'm not justifying. I'm asking you.
You are.
Right, out of 100 handymen you hire, let's say you hire 100 Buells or Victors or Jose's or whoever. If you hire,
It's my house.
My parents used to have a guy growing
all
up.
mine.
yeah,
His name was, what the fuck was his name? Big Steve. What was that guy's name? There was a guy who would come over all the time. He looked like Jack Black back in the day. He was like the fucking family handyman. He just disappeared. My parents treated this dude like family. That's the other thing you need to understand.
That was Frank. Frank was family.
My parents
And
treat
you know what he did?
these guys with the utmost respect because
Looked
they
at my
work
wife, bro.
hard. And, you know, if we're eating dinner, my parents are like, hey, sit down, have a seat, have a dinner. Like that Jack
get
Black
it.
dude years before Victor,
I bet you looked at 10 wrong.
he was
And he was
like
like,
at the dinner
"Eh,
table
he's
with us half
I'm
the
telling
time.
you, it's stealing.
Rich,
What-
his
what
name was
you're-
Rich. The guy, Jack. We had a guy that looked like Jack Black. He was all fucking.
How do you forget his name was
stupid-looking.
Rich?
His name was Rich.
Don said his name was Rich.
Yeah, and he would sit at the dinner table. See, like my parents treat them great, and to think that this guy's thinking about keeping their money, that's
think-
a fucked up thought to have.
If this happened to me, if someone found $1,000, what was the denominations? Was it hundreds? If
I
it was in
think so, I
hundreds.
don't know.
You know what I would do? Take it out 100. Be like, hey, here you go. Thanks. Cool, sweet.
I think you're missing my point.
That's
my point,
it.
My point is not that.
10%.
My point is that
Finder's
not that
fee.
he should take it.
You're
My point
assuming
is not
most
that
people would be
I'm just saying
dishonest.
if I ask you if we're doing survey says Family Feud style, we surveyed 100 handymen that do little fix-it jobs here and there. If you went to a house
You should test your
and
contract.
were hired for a couple $100s to redo sheetrock in the back bedroom, and when you're doing the sheetrock, you're like, oh, what's this in the wall? It's an envelope of $1,000. How many handymen would give the $1,000 back to the owner? And I'm going to tell you 10 out of 100. I think 9 out of 10 contractors or handymen for a job where they don't have a relationship. Now, Victor has a relationship with your family, but I think 9 out of 10 people would be like,
well, guess
You know
what?
what's interesting? You know what's interesting? This speaks to Covino's constant fear of the eye of the Vato. He's
does.
constant, like you
How
have.
do you
hand-
trust
have,
people
You
like
have
that?
contractors at your house right now.
Right now, as
You're
we speak,
constantly saying, "I don't trust people in my house because you never know what they're eyeing up. They're eyeing up my cologne. They're eyeing up my
what they might find.
my baseballs. They're eyeing up my whatever." My,
you look
my
at
woman.
it as Joe Reitz says, you look at it as free money. You never knew about it. So anything that you get or give the guy is like house money anyway.
You would
No,
have to-
that money was going to go to him anyway
I-
as payment.
You know
But
what?
I agree, but I'm saying
When
like,
I-
all right,
when
your
I
sister
bought the-
Jen.
when
His
I-
sister Jen.
When I buy a house,
Yeah.
I buy everything in that house.
Yes. Of
course,
I buy
but
the walls. I buy the fixtures. Everything inside
I get it.
that property is mine.
Yeah, but you
so
don't-
that money is mine.
But you don't know that.
then to ask
you
for
don't
it-
know that there was a little forgotten gift of $1,000 that someone forgot they even put there.
It's mine.
I'm not saying it's right, but
Kiss
I mean,
off.
you can't be mad about something you didn't know you had either.
That doesn't
It's
give
like-
anyone the justification to assume that it's theirs and then like ask for half of it.
No, I'm saying like, let's say my guy's doing the garage or back bedroom or something. He's like, yeah, I found the little box in the roof panel and the ceiling panel and there's a Rolex in there. I mean, 2 seconds ago, I didn't know there was a Rolex there. I'm not saying he deserves it, but what I'm saying is you can't get that mad about something you didn't know existed.
No, but you could raise an eyebrow at this guy's mindset. And I
Yes,
saw my
that's
dad
what you could
chime
do.
in. My dad was like, Victor's a good guy and he's a great worker. I told you this already. But he listens to the people around him, and the people around him probably were like,
It's okay.
you should have probably kept that. I'm sure that's what they probably said. Or you deserve at least half of it.
You're
And
a
then
sucker working for those white people.
Then this bozo goes and, asks for half of it. Like, where's my half? Like, what? So just a story I wanted to share. It's a John Quinones, what would you do? And I think it left a bad taste in my parents' mouth after they've given him so much and have welcomed him so much that they are probably going to give him less than they were gonna.
I'll tell you what I do. I tell Victor to kiss off.
You know what it's like? It's like when you go to dinner
It's my money.
and you're going to tip somebody because they did a great job,
And then
but
the
they
tip.
already added the gratuity, and you're like,
Oh.
I was going to give you more,
But now I'm
but
not.
now I'm not. It leaves that shitty
It's
feeling
like I was
inside.
going to give you 20%,
Yeah, now I'm going to give you just that.
but the standard is like 18%.
So my
usually.
parents probably would have gave him like
That's all you're getting.
$300 to $500 extra because he did do this and great work. Now they'll probably give him $200 extra. But still, that's the story. I'm sticking to
What
it.
does that mean? His name was Rich, and it got my diamond rings. Did he steal 10's diamond rings?
They think so. My mom doesn't know where her engagement rings are.
Wow.
So anyway,
wow. Wow.
That's that story I got over the weekend. I got to see my sister's house. It was very nice. I got to meet my daughter Jen's son, my nephew Owen, and see her daughter Scarlett. But I got to see their home.
Hey,
and it looks great. So,
did you notice when you looked at your sister's home?
Yeah,
that
I noticed a lot. I noticed to be respectful because I want to give suggestions, but I don't want to step on the toes of her husband.
Oh no, of course.
You know what I mean? Like, why would you put the fridge there? Hey, Jen, straighten out this picture. You know, I don't want to be disrespectful to. I'm like, so wait, he has the whole basement? Sorry,
but he has his wrestling stuff.
Yeah, you want to give suggestions, but you don't want to.
He has a poster of Stone Cold Steve.
Yeah, you don't want to cramp like their decision making. Like, why would you put the bed here?
No, have you noticed?
But it looked great. I mean, I'm very proud of her.
I'm sure people that have visited family in different parts of the country, but I just feel like the places that I visit most frequently are so different in their styles that maybe I notice it a little more because LA versus Texas versus New York, architecturally, is that a word?
There's no standard here.
No,
but
what
it's
I'm
all
saying,
mishmash of 60s shit
no,
and new shit.
I'm saying
every once in a while there's a Cape Cod style
it's
house.
60s, like the Spanish style houses, just a random.
And then something
Tudor
from,
house.
something from like a Cape Cod looking thing.
My,
What is
take,
that?
my take is way different than yours. My take is I think LA houses versus East Coast houses versus Texas are like
there's no
the equivalent of what a nice house is so different each place, meaning Texas loves this like a lot of stonework, all the new stuff being built in Texas in these new communities, all like light tan stone and a lot of browns and tans and stone. East Coast is we got 2 or 3 levels, smaller house, but multiple levels, finished basements. They got upstairs staircases. West Coast is very like one floor, ranch houses, a lot of pools in the yards. Like I feel like the standard of what a nice house is,
I prefer blue cheese houses.
So different everywhere. And by the way, Spot, just to play along at home, can you just pull up a picture of Buell from the new Netflix hit series, The Woman in the House Across the Street from the Girl in the Window, which I thought was great. I watched it all. Easy watch.
It was great?
It was great. I don't think you would like it, so I'm not recommending it to you. I think Spot would like it.
How do you spell Buell?
I don't know, but he was their handyman. And the whole joke was like, what is he doing? The whole joke is that he's been fixing their mailbox for years.
I thought handyman was Damon Wayans.
Buell.
Wasn't he handyman?
The Woman in the House Across the Street from the Girl in the Window. I thought it was good. It was good enough to watch. I liked it.
Oh, I know this guy.
Spot, pull up a picture of Damon Wayans.
He's handyman.
You know who Buell is. You've seen Buell before. Oh, sorry.
I don't know that guy.
You know Buell.
I don't know
Buell, what's his actor's name?
Well, Jordan pulled one of these at me the other day. I was watching Archive 81.
Yeah.
She's like, you know this guy. I'm like, I don't know this guy. She's like, you know him. He's the cop from Orange is the New Black. I'm like, that's the cop from Orange is the New Black? She's like, yeah, he gained 85 pounds. So the fat friend in Archive 81.
Yeah? Oh, wait, I know who you talking. Yeah.
Was the cop who got that girl pregnant in Orange is the New Black.
What?
I'm like, what the fuck happened to that guy?
Wait.
Yes.
Like the nice cop in Orange is the New Black that just happened to be with that girl.
Yes.
Is the friend that's
fat
like
guy with
the
beard.
podcast frat guy.
Yes. That looks nothing like him. She's like, I recognize his face. You know him. I'm like, I don't know.
Buell.
I'm like, oh, wait, I think I do know him. My bad. So who is that? Is that guy? I'm supposed to know that guy? I don't know that guy.
Buell is the man.
His name's Cameron Britton. He was on that show that we watched where he played the serial killer. What was the name of that show?
I'm a serial killer. Just don't tell my mom.
Oh, he was on Umbrella Academy, which I like.
This guy's been in a bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
But
Mindhunter. Remember that show, Mindhunter?
I didn't connect the dots on this, on what you just said, because I only watched 2 episodes of Archive 81. I haven't caught up beyond that, but
you know this guy.
I did not think, like, yeah, that guy.
You know this guy.
Wait, hold on.
Let me move him over.
This is Buell.
Buell. You know this guy. You know
Cameron Britton.
Cameron Britton.
Okay, anyway, he plays the handyman. This is the tie-in.
Buell.
You guys need to know this. He's on
the
that new Kristen Bell
Well,
show.
it's a number one. It's number one on Netflix.
Buell.
I saw that.
But Spot, look up the guy he's talking about.
Buell.
Who plays the best friend in
Archive 81.
Archive 81? That's also in
Are we
Orange is
playing
the
a
New
game
Black.
of Connect the Dots, la 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 la, Connect the Dots, la la la.
So the who? The
The best friend in Archive 81 is the cop from Orange is the New
Chubby
Black.
guy with the beard. I was like, maybe he did it for the role. I don't know. But he got real big.
Yeah, Matt McGorry.
Matt Magoo?
Matt Magoo.
Matt Magoo got big.
This guy, Matt McGorry.
Oh, wow.
Is that him in the back?
Doesn't even look
That's
like the
him in
same
back.
guy. That's him on the left.
Let me find him in, what's the name of the show?
Anyway, Jordan played that game with me. You know him. I'm like, no, I
Yeah,
don't.
he looks a little, you know, sometimes people, when they gain a little weight, look significantly different. I think he's one of them.
Yeah, me too. All right, so anyway, it happens.
Me too.
You want to get into the rando news?
Yeah, let's go.
All right,
What you
real
got?
quick. It's not a lot. So rando news, Monday, January 31st, wrapping up the month. Some rando news. News.
The news.
Pat Mahomes and the Chiefs lose. We talked about that. But it's his first career loss after leading by 15, including the playoffs. So, in other news, Rich got hit in the face with a straw.
Yeah.
That should be sponsored by Strauss.
Yeah. So,
Save the turtles.
you got to give props to the Bengals defense for holding them down and Burrow just coming back and leading the Bengals with the win.
That's sports.
So,
We're in the
Bengals
news.
win, Rams win. That's your Super Bowl moving forward. There's a really sad story. Speaking of Jordan, she was shook because she's a pageant girl, and that pageant world is so small.
Oh, yeah.
There's a former Miss USA. She won in 2019. Chesley Christ
Fucking jumped out a window.
committed suicide. Now, here's the crazy part about it. I mean, everything. But in that world, there's only so many girls that really took their career next level. And this girl was one of them. And she was on an amazing trajectory. And I know none of that matters because you never know what people are going through. But all right, she's a former Miss USA. She's clearly beautiful. She had a law degree.
Yeah.
Like she was a civil attorney in North Carolina.
And she
Then
was.
she became a correspondent on Extra. And everybody seemed to love this girl, had everything going for her.
Well,
and jumps out a window and commits suicide yesterday in New York City.
I woke up to like 25 text messages, and you're like, oh no, what happened? I was unaware, probably because I don't pay that close attention, but on SiriusXM The Pulse, which is the channel I'm on at night, the guy that does the morning show, Ron Ross, that girl was his weekly Friday correspondent. They would do like a weekly what's going on in the movies and this and that. So like
a lot of people
are
like, aware of who she is.
Like they were all like, oh my God. And I'm like, I didn't know because I guess I don't pay close enough attention. But yeah, she was also on SiriusXM as a weekly guest on The Pulse.
It just makes me think like really terrible thoughts. First off, you could never really understand what someone's going through. She was making TikTok videos 2 days ago, all smiles. And Jordan knows people who are like, yeah, she seemed great. She had everything going for her, right? But
didn't she? Her last post was something like,
yeah, I have it right here.
What is it?
I have it right here.
Like
it was, may you rest in
May the
in
world
peace,
rest today or something.
I have it.
Something.
Okay, so this is a statement from her family. In devastation and great sorrow, we share the passing of our beloved Chesley. Chris' family said in a statement, her great light was one that inspired others around the world. With her beauty and strength, she cared, she loved, she laughed, and she shined. The former Miss USA winner posted an Instagram photo a day before her death. May this day bring you rest and peace. She wrote alongside a photo of herself. And she also left a note. So as far as everybody knows, there's no foul play. She just jumped out of a building. And it's like,
but she lived on the 9th floor.
She lived in that building
to
the 29th floor.
The
or something like
29th
that.
floor to jump out.
Yeah.
It's a terrible story.
It's a terrible story. And again, if you have kids, it makes you feel terrible because it's like,
you could think your kids.
You could probably like horribly survive a jump from the 9th floor. It's clearly she
thought it out and like, what a terrible way to go. And so much promise. And did she not tell anybody and why not? And then I get these really weird thoughts of like, I feel like people become possessed and like someone's in their mind and they can't block those voices.
Demons.
And then they do what they fucking think is right. And it's horrible.
There's different psychologies behind how people choose to end their life.
The evil takes over, man. It's fucking weak.
Like there really is a difference between people who choose to, let's say, slit their wrists versus people who choose to hang themselves versus people who choose to jump out a window.
Someone recently hung themselves. Who was it? Some famous person's son, some actor that you know. His 20-something-year-old son.
Was that? That wasn't Daughtry.
It happens all the time.
No. Daughtry's stepdaughter hung herself.
Oh, yeah.
I thought she got murdered.
That was a wrong report.
It was?
She killed herself.
Oh, that's terrible.
But the way in which people choose to go.
Yeah.
Well, because your body would naturally react against it, right? Like you would have a natural instinct to stop yourself from drowning or dying. Like if you jump off a fucking building, there's nothing you could do about it.
Right. There is something pretty absolute about jumping off a building or like taking a gun to your head is you have to stare down the barrel. It's different. Not to mention getting access to a gun or taking pills, you could recover from that, or hanging yourself, you could recover from that.
And you'll see her; she's a beautiful girl. So you may be thinking, "Oh, this is some pageant girl I never heard of." I mean, you're going to see this story everywhere because again, she's the epitome, the epitome of, wow, she had everything going for her. That's terrible, and it does just bring more light to a really dark subject of. Man, make sure you talk to people and make sure they're okay. Make sure people get the help they need. Like, it's fucking sad. And it scares the fuck out of me.
There were two stories. And by the way, Bree brought up one of them. It's Regina King, her kid, but also actor Michael Madsen.
Oh, that was it. Yeah.
Michael Madsen was the other one. So it's Regina King's son and someone else, Michael Madsen. What was he most remembered in? Kill Bill, Reservoir Dogs, or a couple of them. But
he was in the Tarantino world.
Michael Madsen, his son, who he talked to a day before he passed away, saying his son felt happy and great and was like, "Love you, Dad."
So then,
and Regina King's kid, and
what happens in those final hours?
I don't know.
Scary, bro.
I saw something once for suicide survivors that their attempts did not go through, and. Spot, there have been studies done on this. People that jump off of something like a bridge or a building and survive, the second they do it, they regret it. So I always feel so sad to think that the survivors, like there's someone that jumped off the Golden Gate Bridge, and I remember watching a documentary about how they said the minute their foot went up, they're like, why did I do this? So I just wonder how many times, sadly, people kill themselves in that minute, that second, they're like, why am I, why did I do it?
Yeah, because you have a few seconds where you're, they say you black out.
Sinead O'Connor's son, too.
They say you black out when you do it. But,
it happens a lot, and it sucks. And I understand it's mental illness, but I feel like it's deeper than that.
It doesn't necessarily mean that, people don't always show signs. We see this a lot with celebrities. That's
the scary part.
They have smiles on their face, and they're just roaming around, and they're okay. But people deal with a lot of stuff internally, and they internalize a lot of things. They don't share it.
Alex is saying, Spot, maybe in those folks' final hours, they have some type of weird peace they've come to, and they're ready to do it. I don't know. It's so depressing and sad. Mental illness doesn't work that way. This is from Lisa. She says it's involuntary.
There's a lot of correlation between people who choose to jump and schizophrenia. So maybe there's
involuntary.
Maybe they're hearing people say to them,
I feel like an evil possesses you at that point to do it.
They're like, you hear like something like schizophrenia, you assume someone that's in a padded room and hearing voices and bouncing against the walls. There are a lot of functional people with mental illness, and you don't always see it on the outside.
Ugh. Hey, you know what? To me, there's always a better fucking alternative here. I don't get it. I'm not supposed to get it. Especially with someone like this. If you told me something tragic happened, like Rich, I don't know, this guy, his whole family died in a car accident.
Yeah. If that guy
he
killed
felt
himself,
like he couldn't go on.
I get it.
I get that. I kind of get that.
I do.
I don't want to get that.
But I understand.
I kind of understand that. Yeah. This shit, even if it's mental illness, it's like, well, then get help, man. I don't know what else to say.
They don't know.
I know.
It's what is it? Sarah described something to me once because we were talking about mental health and stuff like that. We're saying how like when you're driving down the road, right? Let's say you're driving on the highway, the 101 or something, or like by the beach. You know how you're driving along and the edge of the road's right there and it's the cliff. How you have that weird morbid thought occasionally, if I just fucking pull the wheel this way, I'd die. But you don't do it.
Like the guy in The Heavenly Kid.
Like
The Heavenly Kid.
Right.
Like, do those people
like Mickey and Pee-wee's Big
scares
Adventure?
the
No, but I'm saying, do those people act on that weird morbid thought you have? Like, you're driving down the road on like a twisty road and you're like, if I just pulled the wheel just like this, I'd fucking go off a cliff. Obviously you don't do it, but that thought's in your head. Do people that are people that are troubled, do they think that and at one point just say, fuck it, do it?
Suicide,
I don't know.
Because generally suicidal ideation isn't an instantaneous thing. You're like, I want to die, and then you just do it. Generally, it's a buildup. So you have these thoughts that are building, and you almost plan out ways to do it. And
Yeah. I don't think it happens suddenly.
you don't just decide, you know what, this is it.
That's horrible.
Out of
No,
nowhere.
I know, but I'm saying like
Moving
that.
on. I don't even want to harp on it.
That
Rich.
impulse is what I'm saying is like that we've all had where you're like I don't know, like Spot, like when you're standing on the Grand Canyon, just knowing that like, yo, if I take one more step, I'm done. But you don't do it. But you have that thought of like how
there's so much more to live for, even if you don't see
and
it.
it's
Even stupid things.
it's
Like, don't you
tough,
think like
though.
I don't want, don't you want more knobby jobs before you die?
it's tough.
Few
because
more?
that's what you think of.
Don't you, right? Don't you want to see your kids grow up?
I want to my soul, my number
Don't you
one.
want to see how it plays out?
My number one motivation is I want to see my kids get to a point where like they
Don't you want to slap a few
grow
more
up.
butt cheeks?
They grow up. I just want to see. You want to see your kids grow
you
up.
never. Honestly, no parent should ever want to outlive their children ever.
Yeah.
It
No,
should.
yeah.
It's you know.
No, you
should-
just want to see. You want to.
That was Sean the lawyer's reasoning of being okay when his pops
Yeah,
died.
I
He's
mean,
like,
it's still
that's
hard.
That's how it's supposed to go.
how it's supposed to go. I mean,
Um,
I can't complain. I'm like, yeah, well, you're right.
And
It's a good way to look at it. I
and
guess.
sometimes these people are surrounded by loving families and
Bro, it's a
have
nightmare.
support
It's
around
a
them.
nightmare, and
you
it's
can't-
selfish,
you
and it's
can't-
horrible. What she did to her family, honestly, and I know she might have been suffering, but what she did to her family is devastating.
You don't think
And
the pain is so much.
Come on.
It's so much that the only way to end the pain is
No, that's what they think.
people don't understand.
That's not the reality.
You know, like my back was thrown out, and I felt like you guys didn't understand how much pain I was in.
Yeah. No, Rich didn't. He didn't care.
Okay. It's like that, only like it's just consuming you day in and day out, and the pain is not ending, and there's nothing you can do, and like no matter what you try, or you can people saying things to you, or they're around you and trying to cheer you up, nothing changes it, and you're like, I just want it to end, and the only way to make it end.
That's what they think. That doesn't mean it's true. Like Alex Berman saying, you don't think about knobby jobs when everything in your world is terrible.
Yeah.
That's, again, what you think. It's not the truth. Either way, easier said than done. Terrible, terrible story. If you don't know her, she was on her come up, and she was already doing big things.
Yeah.
So rest in peace, Chesley Christ. Beautiful young woman. I think she was 30.
Yeah, she's 30 years old. She was the one of the older women to ever win Miss USA. She was in her late 20s, like was a late comer to that pageant world.
Yeah.
EJ, I think, pointed out, my wife always brings this up, because when she was going through some postpartum stuff after she had the kids, intrusive thoughts is the word. A lot of people have intrusive thoughts. Intrusive thoughts, if you look it up, that's when you're like, morbid shit will just...
Yeah, it's horrible.
No,
yeah.
like just
I get
enter
it.
your
You
mind.
can't
A
control it.
lot of women go through that with postpartum. Like my wife struggled for a while. Like that's when, like, mild versions of it is when you check on your kid fucking every half hour in the middle of the night, because you're like, what if a blanket's on them? What if they can't breathe? What if like intrusive thoughts? Like
I get it. Look,
like check it. Like we have a pool in the backyard. Checking the gate 100 times. Like is the pool gate closed? Intrusive thoughts will get the best of people.
For my back, I'm taking gabapentin, which is it's anti-convulsing medication, but it's used a lot for mental issues. And one of the things is like you know how they always hear in commercials, newer worsening depression, suicidal thoughts. So even Kristen's like, you would tell me if you felt like you wanted to kill yourself. I'm like, yes, I would probably, but would I? I mean, don't know. If I was
then
so
again,
deep
you think,
into it,
right? You think so?
Who knows?
Who knows?
And I know it's just a medication, but there are medications that mess with your brain.
I'll tell you what. If I ever, something ever happens to me, someone killed me.
Like I always
because I like myself too much, and I want more.
Oh, you're the most.
I want to slap more ass cheeks.
Unless something
before
happens
I die, I want to slap. I want to slap so many. more.
Unless something weird happens to Covino, he so loves himself so much that there would be an investigation. Like it would be like one of those murder mysteries with like it's an apparent suicide. I'd be like, I promise. I start my own fucking detective
I like
case.
myself a lot.
No,
so
you don't
someone
get
else
it.
drove me to that.
You don't get it, officer.
Okay.
This guy loved himself more than I've ever seen a human love
It's
themselves.
true.
It was
I'm gonna
murder.
get, because Spot and I will do our own investigation. Like, there's no way Covino killed himself. He was murdered.
It means I was murdered, or someone drove me to it because I like myself too much to do
And
that.
if Rich is like, no, he did kill himself. I'm gonna.
It's
well,
me,
no,
then it's
Rich.
me, then
Well,
it's
no, it was Rich.
And that's why it's hard for me to wrap my head around
Or
this
as-
stuff, even though I know, can't explain the mental illness or what happens.
As Stanley T would say, if you ever see a tattoo on me, it's a clone. Murder it. He used to say that. I'm
Nice.
like, okay.
Nice.
By the way, I have a mental health type of question. It's a little lighter than suicide, but I want to know, what you would do. I know you're going to mock me because you always say that I'm the guy that's like, hey, guys, like, let me confront this. But did I mention this to you already? Softball on Saturday?
Same thing.
Did I mention it to you, Spot?
Oh, the old guy got a hit?
No,
The old guy, how you
not
let him
the
win?
old-
Oh,
no.
they all want to go on a Vegas trip?
No.
A bros night?
Oh, yeah, that's another topic for another day.
All his softball bros want to go on a softball, on like a Vegas getaway.
Is that it?
It's not a getaway. It's more like, these guys, we all have known each other for years. And
let's go get some whores in Vegas.
That's when the whores start coming in.
Someone on your softball team
Whores
said
doing their
something odd.
little behind shake.
No, it's a situation where luckily we were all in agreement, but something you don't expect to deal with or want to deal with, and you don't want to be the goody. You don't want to be the overly like goody two shoes guy, but at the same time, I know you like to point me out to be the overreactor in scenarios like this. So again, we play with a bunch of guys softball Saturday morning. We play with a bunch of dudes ranging from the age of, I'd say the younger guys, like 30-ish or so. And there's guys in their 40s, 50s. Some of the older guys that are like 60-ish have been playing for years. They're just good softball players, but they're like, they're the guys just hanging around.
You've been playing with a bunch of dudes since the early 2000s.
I've been playing with dudes forever, Spot. Nice group of guys. But again,
ranging from the age of 40-something to 80-something.
Wow, you like him older, huh?
well, there's one old guy that just hangs. We love Mike. But no, mostly
How does he hang?
I'd say mostly guys 30 to 60, and that's a big age range. But it doesn't. A lot of good people. But
we both said range. Funny.
He said Grange. What did you say?
I said
wrong.
I said it wrong. I don't know what I said. Like I had someone on your softball team.
So again, that's why I love. I've said it before. I love playing softball because I get to hang with people that are cut from all different cloths. There's some guys that are blue collar guys, some guys that are poor, some guys that are rich, some guys that are black, some guys that are white, some guys that live in the barrio, some guys that live in fucking Beverly Hills. It really is I'm telling you, when I tell you, it is a mix-mosh. Yeah, there is an Asian guy. There is when I tell you a mix-mosh, because these are just guys that want to get out and play ball with the guys.
Is it more of a mix mosh or a modge podge?
I thought it was a mishmash. I thought it was a mishmash.
I'd say mishmash.
Mishmash?
So
a melting pot, if you will.
So for every fucking guy that's like, hey, I'm a movie exec guy, I'm driving a Tesla, there's some guy with a beaten down truck that I'm like, is this guy homeless? Like,
okay.
So there's a guy, really good dude. I'll call him Frankie. Everyone loves him. He's probably 50, a couple years older, maybe 5 years older, 5 to 10 years older than us.
Frankie Carbone.
Frankie
Carbone.
Now, Frankie's one of those guys that you could tell sort of a fucking mess, right? But the story with Frankie was that, he used to be a bad drinker. Got yanked for a DUI. Luckily, didn't hurt anyone. Got cleaned up. He was at the field with a glass bottle of booze at 10 a.m. plastered. And he's doing the thing where we're like, oh, man. What do I call him, Frankie? We're like, oh, man. What's with Frankie? And everyone, old, young, everyone's like, man, fucking Frankie, right?
It's like when Bob showed up to the party all fucked up.
Yeah. But he's doing the thing where, like,
on the wagon? Off the wagon.
Fell off the wagon.
He fell off the wagon, and it's he's like doing the thing where he's like grabbing your shirt, like, yo, bro, I love you, bro, hugging.
Yeah,
he touched some guy's face, and the guy's like, yo, bro, Brian, I'll call him Brian. His name is Brian. He doesn't listen. Brian, they're like, yo, Brian, don't touch my face. And he's like, yo, man, I love you, bro. And he's doing the whole I love you, bro. Everyone's trying to be compassionate and loving, but this guy's like, then he dropped this bottle and it shattered, like, and everyone's like, yo.
It's like when Steve Buscemi did that best man speech.
No, it really was. I'm being serious. And the whole time, he's just sitting there. He's not playing. He's just sitting there at the field hanging, and he's drunk. Bro hugging people, getting in people's face, but not confrontational. But he's like, yeah, man. And we all agreed. I went to one of our buddies, Dax. I'm like, yo, how'd this guy get here? And they're like, yo, apparently he drove here this morning. And I was like, yo, not to be the do-gooder, but we can't in good conscience.
You got to do
let this guy. So
Jason Priestley from 90210. Give me your keys.
No, so
give me your keys.
Then it became give
me your keys.
Then it became a situation where I was like, yo, not to be the righteous guy, but I was like, we all agree here, right, boys, that we can't let this guy fucking get in a car. We got to call the cops. So we were like, well, what do we do? someone yanked his keys, and then he was like, "Where's my keys?" And somebody called the drunk hotline.
That's when I say Rich takes things overboard.
We gotta call like thieves. Then I was like,
I was thinking of the exact thing that Daniel Javier Fitz said. Did Rich call 911 like he did when the girl locked herself in the?
Yeah,
we gotta call 911.
Do you mean
we need to notify the authorities? So you're coming off. You're coming off a serious conversation about suicide, and then you're gonna mock me for wanting to call the suicide hotline when a high school classmate of mine was saying she was gonna go kill herself in the bathroom because Kurt Cobain died.
Some bad taste.
I overreacted.
Yeah, bad taste. Daniel Javier Fitz.
I mean,
bad joke.
That's the joke. So anyway,
bad taste. Seeing how mentally
Bad
weak
taste.
people are nowadays. Yeah, looking back, maybe you did the right thing.
Is anyone close enough to this guy where they can be like?
There's guys that have known him for years. He's not.
They got.
He's one of the outlier guys, but he's always there, just hanging. But
they should drive.
It was a rock bottom moment where
Drive to
luckily
rehab.
someone got this guy's keys and they're like, all right, we're not letting this guy drive away. And I was like, all right, we're not overreacting. We could we're in North
Those rock
Hollywood.
bottom moments are fucking
honestly?
odd.
No, but
I've seen a few of those.
But we
You
can't
dropped them off at a treatment facility.
Spot. I'm being serious. I was like, who knows this guy well? And our buddy Tony, who's just such a good dude. He's got kids that are like grown now in college, and he's like, yeah, I'll take care of them. And we're like, Tony, it's not on you, but well, I'll fucking buy this guy an Uber. Who wants to do we want to get this guy home? What do we want to do? Then someone else is like, he doesn't need that. He needs to be dropped off at like a facility. But I'm like, well, that's none of my business. But so we were sort of like torn. What do we do? Do we when the softball game's over? Do we leave this drunk guy roaming around the field with a bottle of booze? Does someone drive him home? And you're stuck in that scenario, like you said. When you see someone rock bottom, you don't really know what to do if you're not that close with them. Like.
Yeah.
What do you think? What would you have done?
I have so many stories of this. I don't even want to waste your time. But yeah, you bring him somewhere safe. You don't let him sit there and kill himself, drink himself to death, or do something that could endanger someone else.
Apparently,
so
from
your
what,
buddy
from,
Tony
from
did the
what
right
I
thing.
heard was our buddy Tony drove him home in his car, but then like didn't give him the keys. Like drove him home in his car because he lived close enough. But in those cases, like, what do you do? Like, you don't want to be the guy, because my first thought was like, man, none of my business. But I'm like, well, we're in a neighborhood with families and kids and everything. Like, what if no one said anything? And this guy then gets behind the wheel and kills a kid or something. Yeah. Would you be able to be like, oh yeah, let this guy drive off?
No.
But then you don't want to be you don't want to be the Budinsky that's like, I'm bringing you to a facility. So what the fuck do you do in those scenarios?
Tony did the right thing. We just answered it.
That's a pickle.
Does he have?
That's a pickle. That's not a faucet pickle. That's not a white.
I have a little sports pickle.
A sports pickle.
Yeah, that's a story for later this week. Anyway, in other news, trying to move on. Health is wealth, guys. Talk to somebody. There's always an alternative. There's always a light at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah, but I always do wonder in those scenarios, like when the person. What if the person's resistant, Spot? I feel like you're the type that would be like, I don't care. If you see some guys like, I'm fine, give me my keys. Like,
fuck that. No way. Anyway, in other morbid news, it is a morning show.
Yeah, I was like, what is that?
Oh, was Ben just doing his bam bam?
I think Ben was banging on the door. I was like, what is that?
There was a rumble in the studio, but anyway.
I was trying to figure it
Howard
out.
Hessman
Ben
passed
hungry.
away. Howard Hessman, 81, best known as DJ Johnny Fever, WKRP in Cincinnati, passed away over the weekend.
As the guy from Head of the Class.
He was also the teacher and head of the class.
Yeah.
But
Before the British
again,
guy
he was
came in.
actually a DJ, a radio station DJ, before becoming the iconic character DJ Johnny Fever, and just more incentive for the Cincinnati to win the whole thing this year.
He was also in a few of the early police academies.
You know what? Spot's right, Covino. Generationally, WKRP in Cincinnati and Head of the Class were both shows where people would know him from one of those. Maybe both. I know him from both, but I think I believe you said it yesterday. What a coinky dink for WKRP and Cincinnati star to pass away while the Bengals from Cincinnati won the biggest game in franchise history.
Look at these carts he's holding.
Yeah. So, I mean, look, he put radio DJs sort of on the map. It was sort of a cool thing. People loved that dude, and people loved that character.
Hey there.
And he played that typical, like, I'm the coolest guy in the fucking city sort of thing, So DJ Johnny Fever.
Whatever became of me.
Howard Hessman, 81. I know it's a weird reference, but Rob Zombie was posting about him recently. And he was saying what a cool and unique dude he was,
Wondered whatever became of me. I'm living on the air in Cincinnati. Cincinnati, WKRP.
I like the end.
Got kind
WKRP in Cincinnati. So,
Keep it
DJ Johnny Fever saying good night, everybody.
That show
Is there actually a WKRP in Cincinnati?
No. There is a Covino, a famous episode. What is the most famous episode of WKRP in Cincinnati? Is a radio guy?
When,
The turkey drop.
The turkey drop, yeah.
I don't know that.
Infamous turkey
I
drop.
say when Rerun recorded the Doobie Brothers.
That
It's like I thought turkeys could fly.
He was the guy actually playing the Doobie Brothers on the radio that Rerun was recording, and then he recorded the show. And
thought turkeys could fly.
anyway, in other news, this
Turkeys.
is
the turkey
big
drop.
news. Rest in peace, Howard Hessman. Jeff Garcia was in the news, 49er this weekend, and he got a lot of backlash. But here's what's interesting about it: he took that backlash and he doubled down on it. Where most people cower and most people like apologize, and that's the culture we live in. He's like, "No, fuck you, sticking with my story." So he, in a nutshell, if I'm incorrect anywhere, let me know. Mina Kimes is a former colleague of ours. She went to Yale. She's very nerdy about her sports, but very knowledgeable. Okay?
Agreed.
I can't say she really truly embraced us. I think she looked at us like we were boneheads. And she was right. Whatever. But
she mocked Covino. And no, I was not there, but I remember
used
the
that
guy
as the story.
No, but what I'm saying
She's
is
like, this is now or never. It sounds like, I don't know. It was so weak. Whatever. Anyway.
No. I was not there.
She did mock me. People made a thing of it because she's Mina Kimes. People put her on a pedestal.
Agreed. That's what I'm saying. It was a rare occasion. For some reason, I think it was the only day I was ever off. I think I took one day off it.
No, you took a few because I did a bunch of shows with Clinton Yates.
Oh, yeah. Okay, that's right. Yeah, because we were there for 2 years. I think it was like the 1 week I took off, and when we took weeks off at a time, they had fill-in guests. And it was easier because it's a half-hour show. But one of them, when I wasn't there, Mina Kimes was there, and I remember all the staff was like, "Yeah," and then Mina put Covino in his place, and I'm like, "No one puts Covino in his place." I got your back. I remember being like,
"No, but it was
really her.
She
put
was just
Covino
being
in her place."
Playful, and people made a big deal about it because it was Mina Kimes.
Oh, I know what it was.
The point is, she's very well respected.
You joked about someone's wardrobe or something, and she's like, "You think that's what they care about?" Like you made a comment about someone caring about their wardrobe.
I'm trying to remember what it was, but she came back with a zinger, but it was like a zanger. It was okay, but everyone was like, "Ooh," and I was like, "Really? Okay."
Zanger, you say?
Yeah, but anyway, the point is she has a great reputation in sports, and people hang on to her every word. She went on this whole spiel about Jimmy Garoppolo sucking or whatever, and again, I'm just trying to make this long story short.
Well, the big thing is she posted that the meme that we all joked about, like Jimmy Garoppolo is the guy that does the group project and gets the A, meanwhile the other guys did the hard work.
Right. And Jeff Garcia, former Pro Bowler, former San Francisco 49er, came out and called her out. It was like, Mina Kimes, she don't know Jack Diddley squat
about being in the
what
huddle.
It takes, to play in the NFL and the mental strength you need to be in this moment. Like, what does she know? She knows nothing. And then that becomes this big sexist sort of, how could you say that sort of thing? And then instead of, and again, the whole world comes down on Jeff Garcia. Like, oh, man, you can't say that. We're women and we're in sports and we're here to say.
I'll be honest. My first instinct was fucking Team Jeff Garcia. What the fuck does she know about the pressures that Jimmy Garoppolo faces? Meanwhile, Jeff Garcia played in the NFL for years and years and years.
But then Mina Kimes retaliated, too. She said something about, apparently I'm the only one saying this.
And I defended her there because neither has Stephen A. or any of these other idiots. I agree.
So
they're both right.
Long story short.
Too late.
Jeff Garcia then doubles down. He goes, I'm not taking back what I said. He goes, what I said wasn't sexist. And then it makes you think, it's like, well, why should women be protected? If everybody's equal, then shouldn't his commentary toward her be equally received? Right? Like saying that you can't retaliate or say something about her says that she's different when everything's supposed to be equal. Right? And his whole stance was, if that was a guy who said that in that moment, and I happen to hear it and see it, I would feel the same exact way.
Yeah.
You've never been in that huddle. You have no idea what it takes to play for the 49ers or the mental strength involved in what he's doing. I'm a former quarterback in the NFL for the 49ers. My perspective is better than yours. And now the whole world is like, Jeff Garcia is the most sexist piece of shit going, and he's taking a lot of heat.
He is.
And again, he doubled down on it, saying, no. In fact, the way the world is thinking is wrong, because if we live in an equal playing field, then I should be able to say whatever I want about Mina Kimes or whoever.
This
So
is
it's an interesting story.
this is her quote. Jeff Garcia had a problem with this. She said, Jimmy G is the definition of being part of the group project that gets an A while doing none of the work.
That's a good assessment.
And Jeff Garcia said, who in the hell is Mina Kimes? And when is the last time she threw a touchdown pass in a game? Never, ever has she taken a snap or could truly understand the ability, the mindset, the physical and mental toughness that it takes to play the quarterback position or any position for that matter in the NFL.
You threw in for that matter.
And you know what? It's
and again,
it's a really handsome picture of Jimmy G, though. So you gotta give him that.
She responded with like, well, I guess, in other words, saying, oh, it's funny how you picked me out of this. I wasn't the only person questioning Jimmy Garoppolo.
Guess who hasn't also taken a snap? Colin Cowherd, Stephen A. Smith, Max Kellerman, any of these people.
Rich Davis.
Rich Davis.
Davis.
Rich Davis.
Then Jeff Garcia was like, yeah, but I'll say that to anybody. I think your take is whack.
Yeah.
It does tie back, right? Because everyone's getting real defensive about him saying her take was whack. And you started off this whole conversation with her saying my take was whack.
Yeah.
So what's good for the goose isn't good for the gander. What's good for the gander isn't good for the goose.
Yeah, it's true. It wasn't meant to be sexist, though.
It's only a story because she's a woman. Casey's right. And you know what, Spot?
And if we live in an equal world, it shouldn't be a story.
Yeah.
That's kind of his take. And I kind of agree with that, to be honest. I don't think anyone should ever come across as a bully, right? Or use that, you're a woman, what do you know, as your ammo. I don't think that's what he was doing.
I think, Cove, I'm being serious, but
that's what it turned into.
This has become great press for Mina Kimes. Mina is one of those people that I've never really dealt with, but she's super knowledgeable. And yeah, the old school sexist part of anyone is like, well, guys know more about women than football. Women nowadays know
guys know more about football than women?
Just as much. And I'll tell you what, you remember Chris Collinsworth got shit for this too once on Sunday Night Football. Chris Collinsworth made a statement like how he was amazed and thought it was great how all the women of Pittsburgh know so much about the Steelers. And the response was, what are they not supposed to because they're women?
So then why can't you criticize them?
I'm going to say something and it's not going to be well received.
Yeah.
It's kind of like when people bring race into something when race isn't really the focal point of the issue.
Yeah.
That's what Jeff Garcia is saying. Like, you're making it sexist.
Yeah.
I'm just saying
it's the same thing.
I mean, weak.
Truthfully,
the same way she said my take was weak.
Saying it's sexist
on my own
to
show.
garner support.
Bro, I'm a 49ers fan.
But he's really just saying you've never snapped the ball. Shut the fuck up.
Spot, I'm a 49ers fan. If I posted that and I was like, and I support Jimmy G because I know what he meant to that team as far as a leader. But if I jokingly wrote, yeah, Jimmy G is like the guy that gets the A, but the team's doing most of the work or the group did the work. If Jeff Garcia was like, yo, shut up, you've never been in a huddle, I'd be like, well, you know what? He's right. I'm a TV host, Jeff Garcia.
I don't want to repeat myself
it's
again.
Like, you know who can say
the
that?
unfair part
Tony
about
Romo.
this is we live in a world of commentary and hot takes and opinions.
Troy Aikman.
But when Jeff Garcia goes against her opinion, it's a no-win scenario because now she's a woman. When before, her woman opinion is supposed to be carrying the same amount of weight as anyone else's. So in other words, you can never criticize a woman's opinion.
You want to be,
or else you're sexist.
You want to be right. You want to be considered. I hate to say it, one of the guys. But then when it doesn't go your way, then you don't want to be one of the guys.
That's what the story is, and everybody is on their high horse of "F you, Jeff Garcia. We're women and we're here to stay." And then other guys are like, "Yes, right. We love our women counterparts here in the sports world. That Jeff Garcia is what a bad guy." And it's like, well, he doesn't agree with her.
She has more of a valid opinion than I have.
She
has more of a
she has a great opinion.
Right.
He's saying, "Hey, man, I don't agree with it."
I'm going to tell you some truths. She probably has more of a valuable opinion than I do on the X's and O's of the studying she does because she's way in deep.
Graduated from Yale. She's super knowledgeable. She dives into this. She loves it.
Yeah, she's like super sports nerd and
way
super
into
knowledgeable. But you know what? Take the criticism then. But it's hey Spot. I sent you a link on a TikTok that's relevant to this that we can maybe wrap with.
But the question is, was it sexist, really?
But it's like they both have points. It's like, Rich.
And isn't that where the story should end? Yeah. Isn't that where the story should end?
You're not a chef. You don't own a knife, but you can judge whether or not something tastes good or not.
Yeah, exactly.
You have enough experience or knowledge of what something's supposed to taste like to say this doesn't taste good.
I'll be honest. There's the truth part of it is that deep down inside, deep down inside, there's a part of us all that, whether you want to admit it or not, is still slightly sexist when it comes to sports because the population is still that. While we acknowledge, of course, a woman could know as much as a guy about sports. Of course, Bree knows more about the Steelers and football than most men.
But is a man not supposed to disagree with a woman ever?
But what I'm saying is, for the most part, if you surveyed 100 dudes, 80 might know a lot about the NFL. If you surveyed 100 women, 30 may know a lot about the NFL. It's still interest. It's interest. It's facts. It's what you're into, right? It's like that's like saying a guy, what do you know about fashion? Imagine a guy got offended. He's like, fashion? Why? Because I'm a man. I can't like fashion.
Well, if you talk like that,
By the way, Spot, I just sent you a link on our group thing about sexism.
I would never discount a woman's opinion on sports. Just because she's a woman.
Just because she's a woman. Yeah, and that's what Jeff Garcia's saying.
Because I'm a man does not mean that I know more about sports than a woman. Look at me.
It's a tough story.
Look
it
at
really
me.
is.
Look at me. But stereotypically,
that being said, I'm a Fox Sports radio analyst.
Stereotypically, who would be more dismissive of sports in your subconscious? Like of the three of us, right? My wife knows football. That's because her dad.
She knows more than me?
No, but my wife knows football. But Jordan and Kristen don't give a fuck about football. Right? So in the room.
That's not true. Jordan knows a lot about football, actually. Her dad is a hardcore football fan. Kristen? She's worked in sports bars her whole life. So she knows enough to carry a conversation. I'm just for the record.
She can name like all the quarterbacks of all 32 teams and like just the basics?
Pretty much the basics.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
She knows everything that's going on.
All right, call her up. I want to hear that. Let's quiz her.
Let's do a Jordan football quiz.
Behind the velvet rope.
Why don't you do it behind the velvet rope? Jordan football.
False.
Why don't you do a Jordan behind the rope football quiz?
I don't need to. I know she knows what's going on.
Yeah, I want a quiz on behind the velvet rope.
She knows everything that's going on.
I want to hear it.
I mean, you live in a social media world. Like, she knows what's going on. She sees me watching this shit all day. So,
Spot, I sent you a TikTok. Play this and we'll end the show.
Please.
It has to do with how, as women gain more and more power, rightfully.
This is a great clip, by the way.
Rightfully so.
Yeah.
Power.
As women gain more power, rightfully so.
Power.
You've said this before, and I've said it before. You can't have it all. You can't expect the old school ways of men paying for things, guys catering to women in certain ways. You can't expect.
Spot already said it.
Yeah.
It's only equal when it benefits them.
Is this a guy just nodding the whole time? Because if so, I'm going to throw this clip.
It is.
It is, but
the guy on the right, the old guys who you have to listen to.
I fucking hate this shit. All right.
Yeah.
Here we go.
In what sense is our society male-dominated?
The fact that the vast majority of wealth is owned by men, the vast majority of capital is owned by men. Women do more unpaid labor.
A very tiny proportion of men, and a huge proportion of people who are seriously disaffected are men. Most people in prison are men. Most people who are on the street are men. Most victims of violent crime are men. Most people who commit suicide are men. Most people who die in wars are men. People who do worse in school are men. It's like, where's the dominance here precisely? What you're doing is you're taking a tiny substrata of hyper-successful men and using that to represent the entire structure of Western society. There's nothing about that that's vaguely appropriate. In what sense?
And can we wrap up this equal thought? Like, think about this. Ready? When Mina Kimes was on our TV show and she took a dig at me, which was all in fun because I'm the type of face that you want to take a dig at, right? Okay, whatever.
Yeah,
I take any chance I can.
get it. Oh. You don't think I could have fucking snapped back real quick? Little clap back in your face? But I know how it's going to be received. Proving what? We're not on an equal playing field.
Yeah.
We're not. Because I would have been viewed as a bully or like, how did I do that? And Jeff Garcia is basically saying, no, I don't care. They are equal, right? Then I'm going to say what I want.
I totally disagree with the guy on the left in that video.
Just nodding. Yeah.
Totally disagreed with him.
Guys have it tough.
Man, his opinion really brought heat to that clip.
So Jeff Garcia is in hot water.
Yes. Oh, shit.
And in other news, just to wrap it up, someone from my former hometown, Rich's hometown, Woodland Hills, won like the Mega Millions, over $400 million.
Were they from Woodland Hills? I know the ticket was sold here, but
the ticket's from Woodland Hills. I was like, I hope it's not Rich.
Wait a second. I bought a ticket.
I was like, I hope it's not my ex-wife. Then I was like, ooh, but if it is my ex-wife, then she'll have to pay me.
Wait, you said you hope it's not me?
I don't think that's what it works out.
Why would you hope it's not me? You don't want to make money?
I feel like I deserve that money. I feel like I deserve.
But you didn't play.
Yeah, but I didn't play. Did
You
you
got to play to win.
No, but what I'm saying is like your
You just talked last week about how you wanted to.
I know.
If you
and
honestly,
someone from this town,
honestly,
or a ticket was sold in this town.
if you had said, you know what, I am supposed to win. I am destined to win. Let's stop on the way and get a ticket. It could have been you.
Could have been me.
And look at all the numbers that came out are numbers that mean something to him. Mattingly, number 23. Jeter, number 2. 8 was one of them. Your 8 month.
9. I was born on the 9.
Yeah, no, they weren't those.
9.
numbers.
Melody was born.
I was looking at the Powerball number, the main
2009.
one, like the main Powerball, the Mega Million bonus number, and I'm like, if that number has
69,
nothing to, like if that number has nothing to do with what I would have ever
9
picked
came out
ever.
'cause I'm 9 inches.
69 because you're immature.
69 because I'm a dummy. So yeah, so someone from this town, or a ticket was sold in this town worth $400 and something million.
Yeah, right on. What is it? Topanga Canyon in Woodland Hills.
So that's cool.
That's wild.
And that's your rando news of the day.
If you're the guy that sold it, do you expect a finder's fee? I know they pay the store
No,
like
but my parents' handyman expects it.
Yeah.
So Victor expects it, at least half. Thank you guys for hanging out with us today. We have new options if you want to wrap it up with that.
No,
spot.
let's talk about it tomorrow. It's 10
Talk about it tomorrow.
Yeah,
but we
Jesus,
appreciate
bro.
you being here. We thank you guys for hanging out with us. Remember, tomorrow is the 1st of the month, so
shit.
resubscribe. Make sure your credit cards work. There's so many people whose
if you-
credit cards
you
were
know, it's a good-
declined,
it's a good thing.
and or you need to resubscribe. So resubscribe. We start a new month
make
tomorrow.
sure
We appreciate it.
If you got a new card or your card got fraud or you updated anything, update your payment today, and there won't be an issue tomorrow.
Everything's at Covino and Rich. If you missed anything today, be sure to rewind and check it out. And if you missed us talking sports yesterday, foxsportsradio.com. We had a fun show yesterday talking about all the games.
No, wait, hang on.
It's the highlight of the day.
The highlight of the day.
Now, we don't work on an equal playing field, because what if you did that to a woman?
See?
Be in jail right now.
I love the sound.
You abused me.
Bro.
That happened earlier.
How could you?
That was the best. That was my favorite part of the
Pay
show
your
today.
damn bills. All right, we'll see you guys tomorrow. Arrivederci, baby.
See you in the promised land.
Later.
Bye, guys.
Right.